What's up, everybody? Welcome to the broadcast. We got a couple of us in here already. Thank you guys for being here and waiting. I'm sure we'll have a few more come in anytime now. There it is. We're up to 3 already. So you guys drop me a comment. Tell me where you're coming in from, who I've got in here. I'm sure you guys are a couple of familiar faces. Seems like everybody comes in pretty much the same, folks. You know, it's like a little family we've got going on here. Tonight, let's see, Batterson Property Management. Hello from Southern Michigan. Thanks for coming here, Batterson. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving, my friend. I'd say just about all of us have been on a food marathon the past couple of days. I know we were foundered yesterday, and today again, we ate some more. So it's been a great couple of days. Taking a break off from work till Sunday. Monday, we'll all be back at it, I'm sure, as well as you guys. Just want to check in with everybody, see how your Thanksgivings were. Hopefully you guys are getting some time off. I talked briefly yesterday about how there's always a slowdown in business. Anytime between, Halloween, really, things will start to slow down. People's thoughts kind of shift from working on their properties and working around the house to spending money on family and events. It's just kind of how it goes. And don't you guys be alarmed. It's going to be a little bit of a slowdown, probably. I would say middle of January, things will start picking back up for all of us. It's going to be, a good year, I think, despite no matter how elections go. I am confident that it's going to be a good year. Dylan Goodman, welcome to the broadcast, my friend. Thanks for dropping in on us. Oakville, New York. I'd say it's probably, hopefully you guys are having some fair weather up there. Chase Alder, good evening. Good evening to you, sir, as well. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. Ryan Hankins, good to see you again. Thanks for dropping in. No, I have yet to eat the first piece of turkey, but I have eaten more ham than I've had all year, and it's been great. Sweet potato casserole, beans, all the good stuff. We've really had a good Thanksgiving. It's been a great time with family. I've gotten to see my nieces. They're growing up, and all us older folks in the generations are growing up as well, and luckily, everybody's growing well. And my YouTube family, all of you guys are growing. Your businesses are growing. I got several messages from people who have decided to leave their full-time jobs and go out on their own, and that is extremely exciting. I'm thrilled for those folks, and it's just a good time to do so. You can't really bank on waiting for a better time or waiting for the economy to get better, because the economy does go up and down, and a lot of times unexpectedly. So if you're going to do it, pick a decent time, but don't wait for things to be perfect, because perfect will never happen. There will always be in your mind a better time, and you'll just end up waiting your whole life for something that may or may not happen. Justin Williams, welcome into the broadcast. It's good to have you here. New Albany, Mississippi. I believe I've got that right. Ryan Hankins, I need help getting out of the ditch today. Yes, Skid Steer Drew just did. Got stuck in a ditch. I can't believe you get stuck in a ditch, man. I think we've all been stuck at some point, and we've all had to call on a friend, even if it was a friend who was a competitor. And I've never really known anybody to not reach out to help somebody. If somebody called me and their machine was stuck, I don't think I would hesitate, unless it was just hours and hours of driving. I don't think I would hesitate to load up and go give them a pull. You gotta. We all compete a little bit, but hopefully you guys' areas are a lot like mine, where we all know each other and the competition is friendly. There's nobody trying to underdo anybody else. It's a Asheville and Black Mountain. on out toward the middle of North Carolina, we all know each other and we all get along quite well. Let me give a shout out, as always, to Skid Steer Drew. He's one of my viewers and a fellow YouTuber. He recently, this past week, left his full-time job and has struck out on his own. And I could not be happier for him. So go over to his channel, Skid Steer Drew, at some point and check him out. He's just a sweet guy. He's a really good guy, and I think he's going to be a really good YouTube personality. GHT Landscape LLC, welcome to the broadcast. Good evening from Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you being here. There's a blue million videos and a blue million creators out there that you guys could be watching, and I am humbled that you come in to listen to this hillbilly talk about stuff that may or may not matter to you and your business. If you guys are having any business questions or any questions about my setup, I'm more than glad to share. And as far as how to manage business and your personal lives, throw those questions out there. If I can help, I will help, and I will, if nothing else, if it's not a yes or no or right or wrong question, I can tell you what I would do, and you can do the opposite and probably be successful. So let's see. Carlos Hernandez, welcome in to the feed, man. We've had a bunch of us come in here right quick. We've got 22 folks. Happy Thanksgiving from Vashon, Washington. You're out there toward, let's see, dump truck driver Dominique out her way. So thanks for coming into the broadcast, and be sure to go over and check out her channel. If you're into dump trucking and business in general, she's a really good creator to follow. And I've actually been following Toe Piglet here lately. He is a hotshot trucking YouTube creator, and he gives a lot of good advice. Whether if it's a small business, more than likely a lot of the advice and the practices are all the same. You can vary them to meet your specific needs, but as far as the operations, a lot of it is the same. So don't be afraid to look at several different creators and get their advice, because they can probably help you. Country 0384, welcome in. Boyd Edwards, F&F Services, LLC. Happy post-Thanksgiving, Central Virginia region. Thank you for broadcasting this evening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming in and joining us. If you guys have any topics you want to chat about, or, what's been going on with you guys during this Thanksgiving holiday? Have you been out working? Have you been just eating nonstop? What's been going on with you guys? It's I know there's people out there that have worked straight through it. There are people who are doing nothing, and it's kind of an in-between thing for all of us. One big thing, now that we're starting to get some more people in here, I just want to keep encouraging you guys. If you're new to the business, or this is one of your first couple of years, you are going to go through points in the year that are ups and downs. There's going to be constant changes, and the economy is going to change. Election years, no matter how they go, they can be downers on the economy, because anything that makes people unsettled or uneasy, whether it's hurricane season, anything, it's going to cause people to tighten up, and they're going to quit spending. So when you feel like a relaxed atmosphere, if you feel relaxed, more than likely your customers are going to be more relaxed, and they're going to be spending money, especially for example, tax time. When people start getting their tax checks back, that's a little bit of boost of income. They relax, they think of things they want to do, and a lot of times it's something with their property. And this is where people in our industry can capitalize, and we can go out and help our community and be something to them, be a helpful hand, and just look at yourself as the next door neighbor who's got the right equipment for the job, and they're just willing to pay you for it. Let's go through a couple of comments. Joey Fort, what's up from the low country of South Carolina? I am always jealous of you guys down there, Joey, because in the mountains, nothing's easy to get to, and it's just you guys don't have to have as big a dump truck engines. And every time I go to the low country, I think these guys have got it made. But that being said, I'm also not naive enough to know that you guys don't deal with extremely soft ground in places, swampy areas. And I know there are probably, like any business, things in your area that are obstacles that us in the mountains just don't even perceive. We don't even have a clue what you guys deal with. So we could chat about that some tonight if you guys wanted to. Joey, throw it out there, stuff that folks from the mountains don't even see as being obstacles. Charles Bessenbach, welcome in, man. It's good to see you. I see you in almost all of the videos in the comments section, and it thrills me to be able to interact with you guys live. He says, happy Thanksgiving, brother. Haven't stopped eating since yesterday afternoon. I think we started fairly early yesterday, and we have not stopped eating since. So thanks, welcome, coming in, and I really appreciate you guys supporting my little channel. You guys have really made a difference in this little hillbilly's life, and hopefully I am able to contribute in some small way to you guys. Dylan Goodman, I'm a full-time owner-operator truck driver, grew up operating equipment, decided this year it was time to come off the road. He bought and paid for his excavator, dozer, and skid steer, and he's having trouble. Dylan Goodman, tell me, I see you down there. Okay. If I don't follow it in the next comment, hopefully I can answer your question. I'm just going to go down through here. So Michael Fitzgerald, howdy. Hope you and everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Michael, we had a great Thanksgiving. It has been amazing. It's been some good time off and a great chance to catch a breath and relax with some family. Ben Napier, good to see you, Ben. Thanks for coming in, man. It is a familiar face from the channel and a real supporter. And Ben, thank you. I'm thankful for you being here. He says, are you planning to expand your business with a skid steer or dozer? Probably a skid steer at some point. Right now, I just don't really need it to the point that I could justify the costs. He says, are you doing well enough to suit you as is? Also, can I get some excavator training? Yeah, we're doing really good. This has been a record year. The first week of the Corona shutdown stuff, the phone stopped for a week. We didn't do anything. But after that week, phone calls just started picking up. And at one point, we actually, I believe we tripled our workload. As opposed to what was typical for the time of year. And I know 3 times nothing is nothing, but we were very busy. We got out 2.5 months on work at one point, and right now we're still out to about the middle of January. So it's slowing down, but nothing alarming. I'm not alarmed at all. I'm actually very encouraged. I think things are going to be great. Let's see. Dylan Goodman, advertising and getting my name out there. Ready to give up trucking full time, kind of getting discouraged. Are you getting ready to give up trucking full time? Yeah, trucking has always been a hard industry. It's always been hard to turn a profit, and it's simply because there are so many trucks. There are so many trucks, there's so many trucking companies, and they're all underbidding each other. And when you've got so many people that want the same work, this guy's going to drop his price, and to keep up, this one drops their price, drop, and you're beating each other down. In the excavation and grading business, there's more of a line that we're all on for the most part. Some of us provide a little bit better service, some less, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they charge or what they charge fits how well of a job they do. So light excavation and grading is a great thing to be in right now. Larger excavation and grading companies, the ones I know, are starting to kind of suffer a little bit. Their jobs have really slowed down and investors have really dropped off. But working for residential customers and very light, small commercial jobs are still cranking. It's still happening. It's still going on, and it's very encouraging. So it's, if you're tired of the trucking, that's cool. But if you can keep you a dump truck, whether it's single axle, tandem, tri-axle, I personally would not go to a quad right now, because with a quad, you get into like bigger work and you have to have bigger work. Ideally, I think a tandem or a tri-axle right now is a good business to be in. And, if you've got a 20,000 pound excavator, jump in there and get with it, because and it depends on your area too. I'm not saying there's just tons and tons of work everywhere. Dylan, drop it in the comments where you're at, and I can kind of gauge it a little bit better. Let's see. Street Race, just found your channel. I'm an estimator for a highway striping company looking to start my own at some point, but I'm finding earth moving and asphalt paving highly interesting and want to learn. Well, welcome to the channel. I teach it as I do it. So right or wrong, good or bad, you will see how I do it. And I have been in this business 10, 12 years. We've been quite successful. We've got a good customer base. Most of our business is new customers, though. So you want to just talk to everybody around you. And as far as where you're going to advertise, the best people to talk to are people who have no idea what it is that you do. You tell them the services. When you're out in public, just ask people randomly, if you needed a culvert pipe put in, which they may not even know it's called a culvert pipe. You may say, that pipe that runs under your driveway, if you needed that changed, what would you look for? They're going to look for pipe installation company, not culvert pipe, not culvert pipe construction. It's a pipe company. So it's going to be something like that. Ask in your area, stuff like that. And that will help you determine where to advertise. And I think it'll help you. Let's see here. Carlos Hernandez, what do you think about debt? I'm 21 and I started my excavation business earlier this year. It hasn't been the easiest under the circumstances, but I've loved the ups and downs. Carlos, do not get discouraged. Most companies, big and small, don't turn a profit for 5 years. And that's the average, 5 years. So if you have not gone belly up and you've only been in it this year, keep your head above water. And for companies with small margins, me and my wife have talked about this. If you can pay yourself 30% of the profit of the business, like say you do a job, after your expenses, operating costs, everything to the letter, you need to only pay yourself 30% of that. The rest of it, put it in business and operations and build your company from there. That will help. You just don't want to get too far ahead. And start out as far as debt. If you have to do debt, buy only what you have trouble renting. And the biggest thing for most people is a dump truck. Get your dump truck, and that way you can haul your own materials and you can haul your own equipment. So dump truck, trailer, then you can rent just about any piece of equipment that you need, and then build from there. Build up from there. Joey Fort Todd will be in Gatlinburg next weekend. Come see us. Need a price on cleaning up some property. Do you travel that far? Unfortunately, Joey, we don't go to Gatlinburg. I can't operate outside North Carolina simply because I'm not licensed to be able to haul my equipment outside. But I can definitely ask around with some people that work for me. We actually do subcontract a lot of work, and I'm going to be making a video about Home Advisor, and I don't want to say either way, just yet on here the experience, but I will say my company is better than Home Advisor. We don't necessarily seek out people a whole lot, but what we do is if we get a job in an area that's close enough to me that if we try a new contractor and they really botch it up, or they try to screw over the customer, then I can go myself and fix it. So we have subbed out to the coast of North Carolina. We've subbed out jobs. We've subbed out just hauling gravel. So if you guys are interested and you're having trouble, reach out to me. My number's, all over the videos. They're on my trucks and whatnot. And you can message me here and we can help you find some work. We've been really busy with that. Kelly is really good. She's a good in-between person if you need the help. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. So Joey, yeah, I'd love to work for you myself and do the work myself. I just don't think I would be able to do it. I'll think on it some. Maybe I could get some equipment rented over there and come over and do the work. We'll see. Moving on to, where was I at? Michael Weatherhead. Low country is groundwater close to surface. Yep, definitely. I can see it. Joey, yes, everything around here is built on swamp anymore. And that's the way it is in the low country. If you buy property, you better do your research, because you may be buying something that's bowl shaped and it's going to hold water and be a nightmare to get it graded where it will be able to drain as best as possible. Carlos Hernandez, I dumped all my college money into an excavator, KX040, and I think that's an excellent choice. Kubota makes good stuff. So, you guys tell me if you're liking the conversation. It looks like we're holding quite a few people in here. Give me a thumbs up. Take the moment to give me a thumbs up. And that way, if you're not liking, what we're doing here, the structure, or how I'm talking, I'll know and we can adjust it. Again, Kubota is a great company, great equipment. I love them. And he says, and I have an older International 4900. I'm looking to get into a newer dump truck. You've probably got, I would imagine, a DT466 Detroit diesel engine, which is bulletproof. Those are great little engines. They go for a long, long time. Carlos, my best advice is don't go too old and don't go too cheap. Do what you can to get in something decent. And it's best if you can buy from somebody who and who own that truck. And if you've got a truck shop, before you buy a truck, somebody that's been working on, say, your 4900, if you guys don't know about trucks yourself, agree to have that person bring the truck to your truck shop and let your mechanic go through it and take it for a test drive. And that way, you're not buying something that's just, you may get a truck for $20,000 and it seems great, but it's not going to be great when you have to put $25,000 more in it just to make it reliable. So keep that in mind, Carlos. Definitely keep that in mind. We've got Image Maker Land Management. Digging Life, you are great. Thank you so much. And what makes the channel great is actually the viewers. You guys come in, you give me your comments, you tell me what you like, what you don't like, and it's helping me become a better channel. And I've watched some of my earlier videos. I've actually been going back through today, my older videos, and actually putting tags in. And I think that's why it took me so long to grow, because I used to just put a title and it was very generic and it didn't even tell what I was doing. And it made it hard for people to find it, or find the videos that they were interested in. So as far as me, it's not even like me in those videos. It is absolutely terrible. If you go into any YouTube channel and you go back and watch their first videos, it's horrible. And they don't even act the same. Their personality is off. And I really feel like I'm still growing. I feel like I can look in to the camera and feel like I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to Joey Fort, Carlos Hernandez. I'm not talking to a little green dot. And it gets a lot easier, and it makes it even easier the more you guys comment. Like I wouldn't have anything to talk about tonight, and I wouldn't have anything entertaining if it wasn't for you guys interacting with me. So every single comment you guys put up, I'm looking at it, I'm reading it, and if it's a question, I will respond to it. So that's kind of how we're structuring this thing. So thank you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully I'm making some kind of a positive impact on you guys, your lives, and your businesses. Blake Matthews, finding it hard to get started in the mini excavator world here in Concord, North Carolina. Well, you're in luck because you're close to me. And if you need us to, we could dig up some work for you, Blake. And like I say, if it's within a few hundred miles of Asheville, North Carolina, we are really good at finding work. That's one thing we're good at. And if you guys, wanted the help, drop a comment. I'll reach out to you. You can also reach me at digginglife21@gmail.com. And you guys can shoot me an email to see if we can help you guys out as far as getting some work. I've spent 10, 12 years trying and figuring out how to find work. And if you're an honest contractor, people have got to be honest contractors if they're going to work with me. I do what I say I'm going to do, and I do it to the letter, and I expect that of anybody who gets work from us. So Blake, it is hard to start any business. It doesn't matter what it is. And like I say, the first 5 years are your toughest. I struggled. There were times that, you just have to eat Vienna sausages or whatever. And there's a learning curve. There's no easy business that's worth being in, because if it pays decent, people are going to want to be in it. They're going to want to be in it against you, and it's better to work together. So one thing to start out is call around some bigger companies and just see if you can get some overflow work. You will get hung up on, get the word out there. Tell your friends and your family that you are starting a business so they can tell people. But my one rule that I tell new businesses, and agree or disagree, I do not encourage working for family or friends for the first year, because even though they don't mean to hurt you, they expect a deal. And they feel like that they are helping you by giving you work so you can practice. If you're at this point, more than likely, you know enough what you're doing that it's time for you to actually work and make decent money. So again, wait a year. Your friends and your family can hurt your business very quickly and not even mean to. They don't mean to. So just 1 year. Give yourself 1 year to build up some funds before you start doing favors. Let's see here. Ben Napier, thanks, Todd. Glad to support your channel. I'm not in your business, but the business I'm in started booming as well when the COVID shutdown came about. People had time to get things done, I guess. That's exactly right. People were having to sit at home, and they were seeing stuff they were tired of, and that's what's caused our business to take off. They're sitting there on their porch, bored out of their minds, and they're like, I'm tired of our driveway. If we're going to sit here and look at it, let's get it fixed. So it's encouraging. It's absolutely encouraging. I think things are going to be good. Let's see. Country 0384, just throwing this out for everyone reading. My company is currently in farm services here in central and northern Virginia. We're looking at expanding into light excavating, dirt work. Got to start small. Country 0384, be sure that you put your company name down and you can throw your phone number out there. Anybody in that area can reach out to you. I don't mind at all. Any of you guys, put your company name, your phone number on here. This channel is about helping small businesses, and that's what we're going to do. Let's see here. What is next? Dylan Goodman. He says, I've got a 28,000-pound excavator tandem dump as well. I've done a few foundations and got awesome feedback, but the phone just isn't ringing as much as I want. Okay, Dylan, where, number one, do you have your company name and phone number decaled somewhere on the excavator and the dump truck and whatever personal vehicle you ride around in to do your quotes? That's number one. That's your best advertising. Two, how good a shape is your dump truck in? Is it newer? Is it beat all to the dickens? If it is beat all to the dickens, say your dump truck's bed sides are beat to pieces, you need to get a large or a couple of large pieces of sheet metal, screw them up to the side so it's nice and straight, and put your big decal on it, make it look good. If you look good, people are going to think you do good work, and they are going to judge you on that. Some t-shirts, you need to be wearing some kind of a company logoed shirt, something that makes you look professional. If you look professional, you act professional, then people are going to reach out to you. Now, as far as just getting the phone to ring, that's all on your specific area. And if you're in a small town, you need to be hanging out at the coffee shop. You need to be the loudest person in there, and you need to be telling everybody you come across. You need to get you some business cards made up. You can get them made cheap at Vistaprint, just a basic card, and really, you don't have to. You do your company name small on there, but then you want big words and letters: excavation and grading, phone number, because that's what somebody needs to know when they reach in their wallet and pull your card out, or they got it on the refrigerator. They don't need to see your company name. They need to see what your services are and the phone number, so they can find you really easy, really quick. Let me think on that for a second. As far as getting the phone to ring, sometimes that takes time. When I first started, the phone did not ring much, Now, one thing that can help you is capitalizing on the jobs you do have. When you get on a job that you've been hired for, while you're working there, look around their property, look around all over the place. And if there's something you think they need done and you can do it, ask them, are you wanting that bunch of brush over there pulled and hauled off? You say you do excavator work, or if they've got a dead tree, you want me to push that over and haul that off? That's called upselling. And you get on the job and you're in there, that means they like you. They like your prices. Now it's time for you to start reaching out. Don't be pushy. You don't need to be pushy. Trust me, if you lay with it and, watch my channel, you'll find little bits of helpful pieces of information. Pick and choose what will work for you. But upselling on a job is going to help you greatly. You may not be a tree company, but if there's a tree that's leaning toward their house and you've got a 30,000-pound machine, you don't have to be a tree service. You walk up and push that thing the other way. And for a couple of $100 for a machine to just push a tree over, as opposed to a $1,500 fee of having a tree service come and climb, you'll upsell that all day and you'll make that job. You'll get that job all day long. So hopefully that helps you, Dylan. And if you've got any more specific questions, be glad to, drop it in the comments and let me know, and we'll keep pressing forward with you. We've got Construction Machinery Channel. If you don't make a profit in 5 years, you're doing things wrong. That depends on exactly how you got it structured and how you're wanting to grow. A lot of bigger companies can take even longer. It depends on your investments. So, 5 years, I think you should be in the green. You should be really cranking it out. You shouldn't be struggling anymore, is how I should put it. Dylan, advertising with cards, Facebook, and a couple other methods. Those are all good. The big thing about Facebook is you can't put $15 or $20 on an ad and expect to get a return. That's any advertising. You put the bare minimum in there and you're not going to get a return. You're talking like, well, I'll just tell you, if it's Facebook, you're going to be at around $10,000 to $15,000 for a year to get much out of it. But at that price point, you will start getting some phone calls. Trust me. I've worked and done almost every kind of advertising in the 10 to 12 years that I've been in business. And you get out of advertising a lot of times what you put into it. We did a couple of new advertising things this year that didn't work out, and we didn't beat ourselves up about it. We just decided, we didn't see a return, so we're not going to use that one anymore. One was like an ad in a golf course newspaper, and one was at a grocery store ad, and it just didn't work out. It did not pan out, and that doesn't make us failures. It makes us business people. Failure is the best teacher. Nobody's going to teach you more than failure. So keep on hanging with it. Country 0384. If you're looking to start light excavating, agricultural customers like farms always need odd jobs done, and rental equipment helps you get in the door. That's exactly right. Don't feel like you've got to buy the biggest and best stuff right off the bat. I think really get you a dump truck and then rent. That's for me. How I started and the types of jobs I was getting. If I had it to do over, I would have immediately bought a dump truck of some kind. I wouldn't have waited. I would have got a dump truck and a trailer, and I would have rented my equipment. And then you can just rent what you need for each job. Don't rent a machine that's way bigger than what you need to do for the job, because then you're going to spit your profit out. So keep that in mind. And that's just for me. That's what would have helped me out. Now, some of you, if you do bigger jobs and you're staying on site more and you're not hauling off site, then buying a machine should be your first step. So again, digginglife21@gmail.com. If you've got like a really big issue and you want to email me, that's totally cool. I'll look through them as best I can for you guys. It comes down to how you're going to structure it, and that makes a big difference. Construction Machinery Channel, get a dump truck for sure. And I totally agree with them. Ever since I've had a dump truck, I use it just about every single day. This past 2 weeks, you wouldn't see much in my videos because we were on site forestry mulching, and I'm the only worker. So now we could have been selling gravel. So the truck could have been working if I had been available to run it. And we're still kind of on the fence of getting a dump truck driver hired because there's no point in having trucks that are just sitting and not making us money. Let's see here. Carlos Hernandez, I really appreciate the advice, Todd. Well, I'm glad to be here, and whether it's advice or just my opinion, hopefully it helps you, and you can just pick and choose out of all these videos that I've made what suits you and what's going to be best for your business and your industry. You guys drop me a like and let me know if you're liking these conversations, and we'll just keep going at it. Let's see here. Wendell Hopkins. Good to see you, Wendell. About 2 months ago, I went from normal busy to super busy out of nowhere. I'd say everyone in excavation is going to have a great 2021 year. I agree. I think it's going to be awesome. I think 2021 is going to be record year. For anybody who started, certainly I can tell you if you started your business in 2008 or after, I think 2021 could very well be a record year. There could be something that happens that scares people or makes them tighten up and holds things back. But a lot of it is, the media, and we won't get into politics, but I can tell you, if you're watching the news and they announce something that's really unsettling to you, then more than likely it's unsettling to your customers and potential clients, and you can expect a little bit of a slowdown. But it's going to be up and down. Business is just like a sine wave. It's going to go up and down, but I think 2021 is going to be our year. Those of us who are in light excavation and grading, mediocre size stuff, I hope for the big companies that it takes off to. I hope it's just a gangbuster year for all of us. And get to know other people in your community, start a Facebook group. Like I've got Brotherhood of Contractors in Asheville. There's not a whole lot of us in there, but it's a group of local contractors that we're all doing light excavation and grading. Some of us, have 12,000 pound machines, and then I have 20,000. There's a couple that have like 30, 40, 50,000 pound machines. And we work together. We realize that somebody with a 50,000 pound machine doesn't need to go put in a 30-foot French drain line. That's good for the 12,000 pound machine. So we pass work back and forth. We work together. We sub to each other. So you're not just passing work off. If I need a big my on a job, I tell so-and-so about it. They kick me 10% of the profit, and we all make money, and it's great. That's why I love, my area. We are all together, and we're all kicking it together. So get to know contractors in your area. Start a Facebook group. Get to know each other. And instead of having to undercut each other and beating each other down, stay in a plane that's comfortable for the area market, and you will all profit if you will just work together. And a lot of that's just building a camaraderie. And it takes one person to start that group that starts friendships that makes that happen. Unfortunately, it's not that easy, and it doesn't always work that way. Let's see what we've got here. Where was I at? Joey Ford. Okay, cool. Thanks for the reply. Jimmy Langford. Jimmy, welcome in. Glad to see you. Thanks for coming in and supporting the channel. Cleveland, Tennessee, close to my hometown of Hayesville, North Carolina, near Murphy, down the very western tip where we didn't have any use for enunciation, proper grammar, and sometimes electricity or running water. So, yep, total hillbilly. But we're moving up in the world. We got a McDonald's. Jimmy Lane, for your company, are you LLC? If so, what is Corp set up? We are an S Corp LLC. That's what works best for our company, how we operate and how we pay ourselves. The best thing to do, before you ask me what I think you should do, is get a CPA, a certified accountant, and that person that's going to be handling your taxes, and they will tell you how to set up to best work your taxes and benefit you. So that's the best people to ask for that. But again, we're an S Corp LLC. Let's see. Geo Burt, welcome in, man. I don't know how long you've been here, but thanks for being here and supporting us. 18 months in E32 and T770 with Bobcat mulching head. Busy and fun. Congratulations. And I think that you're just going to, I think you're going to stay busy. I'd like to know where, oh, there you are, upstate New York. Definitely, get after it in the summer times, get your money put away. And maybe even this time of year, maybe you're staying busy, and I am thrilled for you. You guys, if you're new to the channel, we do excavation, grading, demolition. We do videos of it, but we also throw out videos about small business management. So consider subscribing to the channel and follow along with us and join the YouTube family. Let's see here. Danny Hunter, welcome in. He says, hello, Todd. Your videos are great. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You must not have watched the earlier videos because they were terrible. Absolutely terrible. Thanks for being here and supporting the channel. Joy for, is the YouTube channel profitable? Yes, it is. You can make a little bit of money. I won't lie to you guys. We had our record month last month. I had 103,000 views. And we topped out at $1,022. I put in a whole lot of time making my videos, though. I will usually get up between, around 6 o'clock in the morning. And to get to that level, between actually doing the jobs and the projects, but, you do a little something, you had to stop, go move the camera to get a different angle. It would take me twice as long to get a day's work in. I was working till anywhere from 5 o'clock till dark. And then I was editing videos from the time I got home. This is no lie. I would be watching my videos and editing while I was standing in the shower. I mean, it was from 6 in the morning, as soon as I got going, till after midnight, so it was a lot of time put in for very little, but I'm really trying to build the channel. And I took about a 2-week break this past couple of weeks from YouTube, doing very much. So our estimated revenue dropped to right around $500. And I think we're at like 80,000 views for the month, for the previous 28 days. So you see these guys that have 300, 400, 800,000 subscribers, they are making huge money. They are making a lot of money. And I think once you get to like 50,000 subscribers, if they're dedicated subscribers and they watch all your videos, you can actually, depending on what your monthly expenses personally, I think that's kind of a number where people shoot and they're actually, YouTube is their full-time job. The catch-22 with me is, without doing excavation and grading projects, there's really not a whole lot for me to make videos of. I am going to start making more videos on how to operate small business and how to structure small excavation and grading businesses. And, people can just pick and choose what they think is going to work for their business. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, YouTube can be profitable, but you have to have a lot of subscribers and you have to have a following. Again, it took 103,000 views for me to make a little over $1,000. So it's fun and it is rewarding, but it can bite into your time with your family and friends. So it's a marathon. YouTube is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And every YouTuber will tell you that. You don't just come out of the gate and just put out 10 videos and, oh my gosh. A year prior to this October, last month, I had 105 subscribers. And between then and right now, you guys can look, I'm almost to 7,000 subs. And we're doing great. It's working really good. I'm not going to start a how to be a better YouTuber channel because I'm really not that good at it. And I'm definitely not the best personality. But I do enjoy helping people. I do enjoy making these videos, and I'm just going to keep doing it just at a more leisurely pace. No more staying up till after midnight. That's exhausting. But I did it for a year. And, it just depends on what you want to put into it. Dirt Brute, hello. How's it going, man? Glad to have you in here. It's always good to see a familiar face, and especially yours. You know, you guys are always in here and you're always positive. I get positive reinforcement. It's been a great year to be in YouTube. I've developed a lot of relationships. I see a lot of the same faces, and it's like building friends. It's like building a community, and I've really enjoyed it. Geo Burt is in upstate New York. Ben Napier, I think what really separates you from others is your willingness to help others. Most see it as some too secret thing. No one I know is even willing to teach me, so I can do my own place. Well, Ben, you know, that's the thing. You know, people will get on here, and if they just want to, you know, do their videos, look at me, look what I can do, that's fine, you know, because people can still learn from that. But until somebody takes the time to really explain what cause and effect and what this does to make this happen, it's like handing a candy bar to a kid but not telling them how to open the wrapper. You know, you can say all day long how to grade dirt, but if you don't know how to quote it, then what are you going to do with it? If nobody tells you how to get the phone call and how to go from the phone call to the quote to getting on site, it doesn't do you any good. So, you know, that there are many different things in this business that if you don't know all of it, it's going to make it hard on you. So, and that's the other thing, you know, you got to hire people. And that's the thing I've had the hardest thing to do. You know, I'm a one-man show. I do the sales, I do the pitch, I go meet the customers, I drive the dump truck, I run the excavator, the tractor, I do all the work. And to get somebody to help me that's going to be worth, you know, having, I almost have to have somebody that's like me, you know, somebody that can drive the dump truck, operate the excavator, do everything so I can break away and go do quotes. Because how to talk to people is not necessarily, you can teach somebody how to talk to people and how to do quotes and estimates. But unless you just like people and you like talking to them and you're okay with being that guy that's too high, you know, too much expense, and you're capable of saying, well, I'm sorry we can't help you. I hope you find somebody that can do a good job for you. You can't teach that. There's a lot of things, you know, as far as that goes, you can't teach that. That's just part of who somebody is. And if somebody can do all of that, they own their own business. So I very well accepted, as far as my situation, I'm going to end up just having to either hire just a dump truck driver that can drive the dump truck, haul the equipment and materials, or be an equipment operator, one of the two. It's going to be hard to find somebody that can do everything and me be able to afford to pay them what they're worth. And I don't want to hold somebody back in life. I don't want to be like, well, I can guarantee you a job, and because they feel secure, they stay here and they can't excel and become something better. I don't want to do that. That's not my goal in life. Let's see here. Chase Alderman giving me some thumbs up. I appreciate it, Chase, and I appreciate you being here. I really do. You guys make a difference. You really do. Let's see. Where was I at? I seem to have lost myself. Man, we've got some. I'm going to have to go through some comments here, folks. You know, bear with me here a minute. Let me find out where I was at. Let's see here. There's Shane Rowland. How's it going, Shane? Blake Matthews, thanks, Todd. It is my pleasure. Carlos Hernandez, Country, Talking Country 0304 there. Let's see, Zates. FYI, Tennessons understand the Appalachian. Tennesseans understand the Appalachian, and I appreciate that. I know it can be thick at times. Really enjoy the channel, brother. Thanks. Who is the boss? You're the boss. Well, you know, when I am almost beaten by trying to fix something or something's too heavy, you know, saying who's the boss to it usually, you know, gives me a little something extra to get it done. Tim Freeman, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Put yard signs on a job you have done. That is a great idea. That's a great idea, especially if it's an exceptionally good job and it looks really good. If it's a so-so job or it's not something that you are super proud of, I wouldn't put a sign out, but he makes a good point. Yard signs work great. They work really, really well, and they're fairly inexpensive. and it's a stationary. It's something people can drive by, and if it's on a busy highway, it's even better. So that's a great idea. Thanks for throwing that out there, Tim. I appreciate it. Shane Rowland says, what's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. We are hanging out. We are just taking questions, doing some Q&A. And, you know I've answered some questions for Shane in past live streams. So if you got any more questions, Shane, throw them out there, man. I'll try to catch them. Trucking with Zach, what's been your best advertising other than word of mouth? Man, I tell you, that's probably the one. It's taken years to be known, but it's getting to the point, and YouTube has actually helped. Having a YouTube channel has actually helped. And it's got to the point to where me and my wife will be out eating and somebody will walk by and be like, you're digging life, aren't you? I'm like, yeah. So it's kind of fun. It's almost like, people around Asheville know me anyway. But yeah, just make yourself sing every way you can and every chance you can. But I'm definitely the best advertising is decaling your trucks, getting decals on your equipment, because it's a lot more powerful for somebody to see a big object moving down the road or a big object doing grading and excavation and them seeing a result and seeing the company name associated in that setting. So decal your vehicles, decal every piece of equipment you have. And take your time when you're going from one place to the other, unless for some reason you're pressed and you're behind on work. Take your time driving up and down the road. Take the busy roads during rush hour, because that is a captive audience. They ain't going anywhere. They have to read your truck or they're going to just have to be bored. So that's what I would do. Wendell Hopkins, farms are a great way to start out and they typically pay good. Check them out. Every angle you can work to make a living when you're starting out is a good angle. Dirt Brute, I've done a lot of creative advertising and a lot was a waste of time. Don't think just because it's a great idea it will work. That's exactly right, DB. That's exactly right. Find what does work and dump your money into that thing. That is exactly right. And that's one reason I like decaling trucks and vehicles and such. It's because once you do that, it's paid for. It's done. You don't have to keep having it done. You don't have to pay monthly fees. You don't have to do any of that. Get decals on your trucks, on your equipment, on your clothes. Have a logo, but get a logo that screams only you. You don't want to just have a big cat excavator with little bitty letters, because everybody knows what an excavator is. You need to do something that represents you, something that really stands out. I do like the Western lettering. It's like the lettering that they used to make the sheriff sign in the old West. Oh my gosh, we just hit 40 people in here at one time. Thank you guys. That was a record. It lasted just a second, but that was a record. That's the most people I've ever had to live stream, and I am thrilled. But that was the idea. I wanted to we're back to 40. I couldn't be happier. But the letter 41, woo! I tell you what, we're getting somewhere, folks. Give me a like. Give me a like if you're liking this live stream. I am stoked. These letters, sheriff sign, we want to be seen as an authority. We want to be the law in the town that gets excavation and grading done. So, that's just a couple ideas to throw out there. Let's see, Dylan Goodman. He says, my dump truck is a 04 Pete, very clean. I have my own lowboy and tractor to pull it. My excavator has my name all over it, putting yard signs up as well, have my name on my pickup too. Guess I just need to stay. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing the best work you can. And the other thing is, you don't have to have a whole lot of calls if you can increase what you're making on each job. That is one thing. If you're doing bigger jobs and you're staying on jobs longer, it's fine if you don't have a whole lot of calls. But Dylan, tell me what kind of jobs you're doing. Like, how long are you staying on site average? Me personally, I like getting on site and being on a job 1 day to a week. That's what I like to do. I don't like getting tied into big jobs. I like moving around. I like being able to go and run a load of gravel while I'm in the middle of a small project. It's just what I like. I like dealing with families. I like helping people on their properties and making things happen that they didn't think they could afford and still make a really good living. So that's where I gauge myself at. Let's see, where are we at now? Pat Hamer. Good to have you here, Pat. It's good to see you. It's nice to see a familiar face. Looking at a 2020 cab and chassis Dodge 3500 4x4 to haul excavator and trailer 12,000 pounds. I want to put a dump bed on it. Maybe I can get the truck for 47,000 with 17.5 thousand now, 450 month payments. The only thing I'll say, Pat, is everybody I know that has ever put a dump bed on a 3500 wishes they had waited or found a way to get a bigger dump truck. Okay, that's a lot of money for such a small truck. What I would do, and I'm going to encourage this, and I mean this from the depths of my soul because I've talked to so many people. Okay, I've talked to so many people that have done this. Find you a good little international truck to start out. It just, trust me, I've talked to a lot of people, thousands of people on YouTube, and you can't haul much of nothing with a 3500. Just go ahead, get you a little international, break down and get your CDL. Get your CDL, get you one of them nice little 4700, 4900 internationals with a DT 466. They're super easy to rebuild, and they'll run forever, and you'll be able to haul, they're a light little truck. I think they weigh like 15 to 17,000 pounds, and you can get them with a 33,000 pound rating, meaning you can carry a decent amount of material on them. I'm just telling you, unless you're just going to be hauling Bradford pear brush or something, I would not do the 1-ton truck route. It seems like a big truck, especially if you haven't been around big trucks. But when you start loading it down with road bond and you put 2 tons of material in the bed of that thing, then you're going to be hating life, and it ain't going to pull it. So Pat, I really encourage you to go bigger. Go bigger to some degree. If you have to, I would sooner, as opposed to doing that, I would probably find an F650, something, in that bigger class. So we're here at Dylan Goodman now. Patience, it's still my first year. Yep, you've got to be patient. You've got to be okay with things not going awesome. Be okay with things going good, or if things ain't going great at all, your first year is not enough to tell you what it's going to be like. Allow yourself a couple of little failures. Allow yourself to drop trees on houses. Don't drop. I should say that. That was a horrible thing to say. Don't allow yourself to drop a tree on a house. But if you do something like that, don't quit. Because then having dropped that tree on that house was for nothing. So if you're going into a job and you're not sure about it, call up somebody who does know what they're doing. Sub it out to them, but be there to watch them do it so you can see how to do it right. Let's see here. Country 0384, Carlos Hernandez responding. Tom Sawyer, what have you found to be your best way to advertise? Again, if you guys are just now coming in to the live stream, this channel is all about excavation, grading, demolition, land clearing, forestry mulching. So consider hitting the subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a lot more live streams, taking questions and giving my viewpoints and my opinions on stuff. They're not facts. So you pick and choose what you think is going to work for you and just charge into business and make it happen. So as far as advertising, decal, because it's affordable. Anybody can afford to have a vehicle decaled almost. If you can't afford to have the whole vehicle done, get the back of it done, the tailgate, because that's what most people have the longest view of. If you pass them or if they're coming up on you, they're going to see that tailgate in plain view. Next, do the sides. And do it to the vehicle you drive the most. If you just do a couple of estimates, then I wouldn't worry about doing that vehicle. But if you have a dump truck that you're running all day, every day through the week mostly, get that tailgate decaled and make it flashy, make it loud, make it jump out in people's faces. And that way, when they see it, then they can't help but see it. They'll see it and it'll jump out at them and they'll want to call you. And I find like if you can add something in there that's kind of serious and comical to some degree, a cartoon type of image, people feel softer. They feel more comfortable calling you. You want to be inviting. You don't want it to have real sharp edges. I find like print that is rounded is more inviting to people. It's going to make people feel more comfortable. But if you do a bunch of jagged stuff, skulls and crossbones and stuff, it's going to make you look BA. But is the typical person going to be like, ooh, I want to call them. They look up like a pirate. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to. So do what you want, do what you do, but I mean, just be ready to accept the consequences. Be sure to drop me a like if you guys are enjoying this conversation, and that way we can hopefully reach out to more people and help some small business owners get some advice going. Let's see. Ben Napier, here's a point to be made. If you charge by the hour, don't be like the guy hired and fired. Don't do a lot if machine idling. That's a quick way to lose your customers. That's a really good point. And there are different methods to charging your customers, okay? Charging by the hour, I don't think, please excuse me. I've been talking with family and on YouTube all week nonstop. Talker's getting tired. Okay, there are different methods to charging for jobs. You can do the hourly method, which I don't think works really that good because for you to make more money, you have to take longer on a job. And the only way to do that is if you lollygag. For me, that's not really a moral way of doing it. Also, if you're charging by the hour, you know, most time customers want something done. They want results. And if they see you just whittling away at it, they're not going to be pleased. I find that charging for a result is the best way to do it. You tell the customer, I'm going to do this, and this is the result you're going to get. This is how much it's going to cost you. And I really would discourage, unless they ask you, how long is this going to take? You don't even bring it up. Because as soon as you say, well, it'll take me about a week, but if the weather's perfect, everything goes smoothly, and you get it done in 4 days, guess what? They're going to be saying, well, it didn't take you, it took you 3 days less. Am I going to get a discount? No, because I'm charging for a result, not an amount of time. So that, I don't even know how I got off on that actually. But to me, if you're experienced enough, you know the business, you know how, you know your overhead, you know the results you can give. Well, buy a gun and give them a quote. Give them a quote, and that way they know the result they want to get. They don't care, it's going to take you 12 and a half hours. They want a result. So you need to deliver on it, collect the money they promised you, and move on to the next job. I've got a lot more to say on that. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because I'm going to be doing a video. A lot of this is a lot of back and forth when it's a live stream, but I'm going to be doing structured videos on different methods to charging and different jobs that each method is better for. But in general, a quote is the best way to go. And then that way you run into a little bit of a speed bump or you have some bad weather, then you can take as much time as you need to, or you can slow down and you're doing fine grading and it's not going that great. The soil's a little bit too much clay and you're having a hard time. You're going slower. It doesn't look like the customer like you're riding the clock. They see you really trying to do a good job. So throw those quotes out there. Andrew Sokol, good to see you. Thanks for coming back in. It's always nice to see a familiar face in the broadcast. So what we got going on tonight, we're just talking about a whole lot of generalized business questions, and hopefully I am answering them as best I can. Andrew says, hey brother, what size dump truck would you go with for your first truck? Thanks. Okay, that really depends on, do you have a CDL? If you don't, are you willing to get it? And if you are going to get a CDL, let me just say, go ahead and get your Class A CDLs because you will not regret it. One of the biggest expenses you will have if you can't do it yourself is hauling your equipment. Like the minimum to haul my machine around Asheville, it's 20,000 pounds, is about $450. And that's having it hauled by a reputable guy that I know. And he's got a really nice looking truck, because I don't want the community seeing my nice machine running up and down the road on some piece of junk. Because if they see that, they're going to think that my work is junk. And sometimes it's worth paying for quality. Let me just tell you. So that being said, I would go with at least a good size single axle dump truck of some kind. I've got my Ford L9000 dump truck. And the funny thing is it weighs 18,000 pounds, but it's rated for 31,500. Now my F750 that's brand new weighs about 15,000 pounds, but it's rated for 33,000. So I would definitely go with a single axle dump truck, but not anything lower than, like, a Dodge 5500 is okay, guys. It's okay. But it makes a big difference if you're in low country, flat land, or if you're in the mountains. If you're down like South Carolina, I think you can do probably okay with a 5500 Dodge. I think you can do really well. But in the mountains, you're going to need something with bigger brakes. You're going to need something with a really heavy transmission and something with some holdback to it, because going up the mountain's not the problem. It's coming down the mountain and not getting run away. So I would do like as far as international, I would do like a 4700 or 4900, like a, what is it? Like just your international, just a regular little, something with a DT 466 engine, something that's going to really hold up. Man, you guys hang in here with me. Help me hit 50 people in here at one time. That would thrill me. So if you guys can just hang in here with me, unless you got somewhere to go, I don't blame you. I'd love to see this string go over 50 people. I'd love to see it. So I would definitely go with like 4,700, or like if it's a newer Ford dump truck, I would go with an F650. When you get in these classes, I would go with air brakes. I would not encourage hydraulics unless you're in flat country. It'll be okay. Mountains where I operate at, air brakes is the only way I would go, and definitely get into something with bigger brakes. It's safer. And you'll be able to, like, I've got my little single axles tagged at 43 and 44,000 pounds, and that covers the truck with the trailer and a 20,000. Actually, I can haul 22,000 pounds on the trailer. I think, I'm pretty sure, on the 750, that is, because it's not as heavy of an empty vehicle. So definitely that's the size I would go. Hopefully I answered your question, Andrew. If not, just ask it in a different way, and hopefully I can answer it correctly. Carlos Hernandez, where do you get your merchandise printed? There's so many companies out there. We have a local company in Asheville. We almost hit 50 people in here. Oh man, so close. Precision Graphics in Black Mountain, North Carolina does all of our hoodies and our long sleeve shirts. But we're working with a graphic designer out toward, I think, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, who is doing my new logo. And let me just pull it up for you guys so you can see it. I think I can show y'all. I just can't really post it, so stick around. This thing's funny, man. Absolutely funny. Let's see if I can pull it up. Check this out. Who does that look like? How cool is that? I think it showed up backwards for some reason. You guys tell me in the comments what you think about that logo. It's not totally set in stone. I could change some things if I wanted. Oh, we're almost to 50. You guys see that? Oh, it dropped. All right. So, where was I at? Oh, yeah. Just any local print shop. But we're working with the graphic. 50! We hit it. That's the most ever. I'm way too excited. All right. I'm satisfied for the night. I hit 50. I'm happy. So we are going to actually be maybe having a local place close to him do our printing. We're going to be doing coffee mugs, shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, ball caps, coffee mugs, just all kinds of merchandise. Mostly because that graphic is so funny. Absolutely hilarious. Hopefully you guys think it's funny too. Let's see, where are we at here? Where am I at? Oh boy, I think I got a little bit behind. I'm gonna have to go a little bit quicker here. Dirt Boss is in the house. My hero is in the house. Let's see here. Oh man, I've got way behind. Yeah, you can't beat a DT 466. They're awesome. Oh man, Dirt Boss. He's got some snow maybe coming in. How did I get so far behind? Dirt Perfect. Oh my God. Dirt Perfect's in the house, folks. We got some celebrities in here, man. I'm humble, guys. Thank y'all for coming in and saying hello, man. I am so thrilled. Wow, you guys. We've got some celebrities in the house tonight. We have got some celebrities in here. Let's run through some comments. Another Cleveland, Tennessee fan here. Zates, thanks for being here. Love familiar faces. Carlos Hernandez, where? Ben Napier. Sorry about the spelling. Cooking while watching, man. Well, you know what? Sometimes I get right in the middle of something and I have to watch during a shower. You know, it's all good. Let's see. Nathan Price. He says, I disagree. I think you do have a really good personality. It's easy watching and I get to learn along the way. Well, thanks, Nathan. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you watching. Gio Burt. Anyone watch the Andrew C. vid about the crane today? I did see it, and that boy really gets himself in some doozies. Let's see, Gio Bird, WT Nunn, what's up? Just found my channel, binge watched the day before Thanksgiving, awesome channel. Thank you, WT Nunn. Thank you. When you guys go back and watch our older videos, it actually does help our channels. And always, if you want to support your YouTuber, drop a comment. It doesn't matter if it's a single word or anything. Comment on your YouTuber's videos because that tells the algorithm that you are interacting, you like the video, and they will put it out there to more people. And it's especially important if your YouTuber or the video you watched you found helpful, because then that way, by you commenting, it kicks it out to more people and we can help them too. So be sure to do that. Foothills RV, that looks familiar. Great videos, sir. Headed to Ken Wilson Ford tomorrow and Ken and visiting Asheville from Sevierville. I'm glad to see a YouTuber close to you. Great to hear, man. Great to hear. Are you thinking about buying from Ken Wilson Ford? Because I've got some things I could tell you if you'd like to hear. Georgia Cat Skinner, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. He says, hey, Todd, I love the channel. Keep up the good work. I'm trying really hard. I'm trying to make it as entertaining as possible and help as many people as I can. Al S., if you are renting equipment, get some big logo magnets, use on them. That's an excellent idea. Man, that is an awesome idea. That's probably better advice than I've given this whole live stream, guys. I'm telling you, that is really good advice. Dirt Boss, you're 40. Man, you don't look a day over 21. What you talking about? Let's see. Michael Fitzgerald, I'm pretty good on the equipment, including cranes, trucks, excavators, and skid steers, but I'm not a salesman. That's something I need to figure out before I buy equipment to start my own. That's a big thing, and when you first start this business, don't worry about just being a salesman. Be a human being. Have empathy. When you go to meet a customer, listen to what they're saying and be welcoming to them. Make yourself approachable. Just be nice. If you've had a bad day, it's been horrible, and you feel really defensive or even offensive and you feel angry, it's not the best day to let that come out, because that customer didn't do that to you. And when you feel that way, anything they say, you're going to feel like they're trying to do something underhanded to you. They are going to try to milk you or whatever. You need to listen to some happy music. You need to give yourself some positive self-talk and fix that attitude before you meet your customer. Be a human and just be kind to people. It does not take a lot to be kind in this world, and the world needs more kindness in it. And if you're kind to somebody, it will pay off. You can wait a couple of days to do that quote until you're in a better mood. You just tell the customer, I'm going to need a couple of days to put your quote together, and I will get it to you. Being in a bad mood is not the best time to do a quote, because you're not going to feel lenience. You're not going to feel empathy toward what they told you. Let's see here. Political Boffin, PhD. Texas here. Oh, man. First Texan we've had in here that I think we've seen tonight. So welcome. Thank you for joining the broadcast. Jimmy Langford, great info planning on the CPA. Love your channel. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. And thank you for being here. All these viewers, I'm glad Dirt Boss is in here. Dirt Perfect. You guys really make a difference to us, and you make a difference in our lives. And I can tell you, Dirt Perfect's a great guy. All of us YouTubers that are doing this stuff, man, especially the ones you see doing the work themselves, they deserve every view they get. They put a lot into these videos, and anybody who thinks that editing videos is easy or is not time consuming, just try it. Just try it. Jay Taylor, hi Todd. Good to see you, Jay. Thanks for dropping in. We appreciate you here. We're hovering right around that 50 people in here at one time, and that is awesome. That thrills me. Thank you guys for being here. Pat Hamer, it's diesel. Yeah, even though it's a 3,500, if I didn't miss something else, even though it's a diesel, you may have some trouble hauling what you want to haul. I'm surprised it ain't snowing up there on my Dirt Boss up there. Dirt Brute says my small trucks work harder and burn more fuel. That's exactly right. They're just not geared for it. So go bigger if you can, guys. Georgia Cat Skinner, you can't beat a DT466. That's exactly right. Chase Alder, I like your enthusiasm. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm just thrilled, man. I'm thrilled to be doing this, and I'm thrilled, and I'm telling you, seeing these fellow YouTubers in here, these guys have got a lot going on. They are operating businesses. They're family men, both the Macs. Dirt Perfect, Dirt Boss, both of them are family men. And, for them to be in here, and I know they've got work stuff to do, they could be doing their videos, and them to take time to come into my channel, I'm humbled, and I appreciate them. I really do. Dirtbird says, I just wanted to stop in and say, hey, and thanks, Mike. I appreciate it, man. I've really looked up to you since I, really got going in YouTube, and we appreciate everything you do and put out there. Let's see. Pat Hamer, I have a 4.3 double axle GMC, 1943. Boy, I tell you, they get the work done. Danny McNulty, where are you from? I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. I am in Black Mountain, North Carolina. Pat Hamer, yeah, maybe I'll just get a pickup. Let's see here. George Cat Skinner, hey, Pat, I bet the 4.3 is awesome. I'm just going to try to pick up the pace here, guys, get caught up a little bit. Let's see here. Ben Napier, Dirt Perfect, Dirt Brute, Dirt Boss are here. 3 channels. He also watches. Man, we're a community. And we really, really, even though we may not talk on the phone all the time, I talk to Brandon over to Lead Earthworks on the phone pretty regular. I'd like to chat with some of these other guys. And while I got Dirt Perfect in here and Dirt Boss, guys, I'd really like to do some collaborations with you. It would humble me greatly if you guys, want to do some split stream live split stream live stream and get some really cool conversations going. We can converse back and forth with you guys in the comments, but I think it really brings something more to our viewers if we could do some Zoom type meetings or something. Let's see here. George Cat Skinner, Pat Hamer, we're going to drag a 54D2 out of the woods in the morning. Man, I hope you're going to have some footage of that, because that would be a cool project. Pat Hamer, has to be carb compliant. They're talking about California. California, they're a little pickier. Dylan Goodman, normal job lengths are about a week for him. I'm set up for foundations, clearing driveways and ponds as well. I started out and still love driveway work because it's super easy. It's cut and dry to quote. So you should do fine. So about a week is about where I want to be on jobs, and past that, I want to get off of them. But like usually Dirt Boss, man, he's working on a big job right now, man. He does his stuff from start to finish. He seems to do all of his how it works. Same thing with Dirt Perfect. I mean, those guys, they really know a lot. I don't know near as much. I just play in the dirt. These guys are, they're the real deal. They are real contractors. So feel free to reach out to them on here. and ask them some questions or direct some questions at them. Let's see here. What else we got? Pat Hamer, I have 2 acres of basketball mining tailings. Wants to load up and sell. So you guys reach out to Pat Hamer if you're in his area. Pat, you may want to drop again where you're at. James Hampton, hey man. James, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for coming in and joining us. James Hampton, I made it tonight just barely. Man, I'm going to be on here for a minute. Kelly's still visiting family, so I'm going to be kicking it with you guys. Let's see, Pat Hamer, by the way, digging. I'm in California, not far from Hollywood, and you are a great personality, one of the best I've seen on YouTube. Thanks, Pat. I really appreciate that, man. I'm trying to break out. I'm trying to be who I am. Ben Napier, I hate to drop out, but duty calls. Enjoyed it. Thanks for answering all my comments. Ben, we're going to be doing a lot more live streams, man. I really enjoy them, and I think I almost enjoy them better than doing videos. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for dropping in. Wendell Hopkins International 4700 is a great non-CDL truck to start out with. You can get one for under 15 grand. That's a pretty average price range for sure, guys, for sure. Let's see, Dirt Brute, told Ben good. Not, let's see here, Zerkini, what's your thoughts on a 7,000 pound excavator? Still get things done? ? Thinking about getting one, but don't want to throw 30,000 at a machine and it not be the right one. Truck only rated for 10,000. Okay, so if your truck is rated for 10,000, you put 10,000 pounds on the truck, or are you saying that 10,000 pounds is all it will actually pull? That's the question. If you say that you can put 10,000 on the trailer's rear end, that means that you could say what a trailer is rated for. So if you bought say you put a 20,000 pound machine on a trailer and ahead of the front axle on the trailer, and all that weight is going down on both the trailer and the truck equally, you're fine. You got 10,000 on the truck, you got 10,000 on the trailer, you're ready to scoot. Me personally, I think 20,000 pound machines are perfect starter size machines, and even for people who are doing bigger jobs. It's that simple, guys. Great A Land, good to see you in here, man. I don't think you've commented yet, but I'm glad you made it in. Oh yeah, better late than never. Good evening, everyone. Great A Land, everybody. Welcome them to the broadcast. Pat Hamer. He says he'd call his buddy in PA. Andrew Sokol, you're the man. Thanks for the good advice. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting the channel. Mike Hydroseed, I just bought a 2016 Ram 5500, and it's a beast, but the brakes are surprisingly very disappointing. Yeah, guys, when you get into pulling these big loads, and you are, especially if you're in the mountains, you need something with some real braking. And if it don't have a brake drum, it's not going to hold up. You don't want, disc brakes. You want drums all over the place, all around. It's one thing if a truck will pull. The most important thing is if it will stop. If a truck will not stop, you ain't stopping until the scene of the crash. So keep that in mind for sure. Let's see. James Henry, that's blah, blah, blah. Where are we at? Cool. So I got Dirt Perfect scene now. Looks like he's going to be down to do maybe a live with me. So that's cool, man. I'm excited about that for sure. Let's see, Foothills RV. I'm mostly going there to test drive tomorrow and take the wife to Asheville. We might look familiar because we own Foothills RV Park and Cabins and Pigeon Forge. I'll email you if you can respond. Absolutely, definitely. Just openly, I would. Depending on the vehicle you're going for. If you're not going, and this is for Foothills RV, and I do recognize you guys. Unless you're going for a commercial vehicle, I would go to Asheville Ford, not Ken Wilson. I was not real impressed. Let's say that. Okay, James Hampton, do you go back and read all the comments after the show? It's fast. No, actually, I catch up. I've read them all up until your comment, and I'm just trying to catch up now. And if I do cut the video off, I do keep reading through, and I read all the comments, yeah. Tomo, let's see. Todd, thanks for all you do. New to the business. What's the best way to get your name out there? Again, put all your information on your trucks and your equipment. Decal everything. Get shirts and talk to everybody. You've got to be a personality. Business is a popularity contest, and you want to be the most popular person in town. Let's see here. Dirt Perfect, thanks. Appreciate that, buddy. Yep, I am in. Just send me a link. Awesome, Mike. Man, I'm stoked, dude. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Let's see here. We got Dirt Boss. Thanks, buddy. Tim Freeman. Does anybody have turkey hangover? All of us, I think, except me, and I've got a ham hangover. I'm going to hit the sack, but check my channel in a few days. I should have some footage up for the D2 rescue. Definitely will. Thanks, George the Cat Skinner. You guys check out his channel. He's going to be rescuing a D2 from the woods, it looks like. Zucchini. Okay, thanks for the advice. Tim Freeman. If you're running a Dodge, get a good exhaust brake. Everything needs an exhaust brake. Everything. It don't matter what it is. You want all the braking power you can get. And, even if you're in flat land, you need more braking because, like with engine braking, it saves on your brakes on, the wheels. I was actually watching Dirt Boss today. I was looking back on some of his older videos, and he was changing out the hub on one of his dump trucks, and he went over some of that stuff, and he made the comment, that he uses the gearing mostly to help him slow down, and it saves on his brake pads. Anything you can do to save on wear and tear of any part of the truck, do it. It will save you money. Chase Alder, what are your thoughts on a tilt bucket for grading? I actually just ordered, and y'all are going to think this is going to be way too big, but for my Yanmar Vio 80 excavator, I just bought a tilt bucket. It's a 48-inch tilt bucket. I had somebody comment, I told it in one of my videos what I bought, and he said it's too big. And I'm like, really? What am I going to use it for? It's amazing how quick people are to tell you that you did something wrong or got the wrong tool when they don't know the job you're going to do. Absolutely amazing. I try to be nice and courteous, but when somebody makes a dumb comment, you can't help but say something about it. While I got you guys on here, I'm going to drop in the comments my other channel. It's Digging Life Deeper. Let's see if I can pin it. I'm going to pin it to the top. And that's going to be my channel where I do a lot of just live footage, raw footage. And also, hackers will hack into YouTube channels and delete them. And I don't know why, but they will do it. And it might be hard for you guys to find me if that did happen. So it's just kind of a backup channel. So you guys check it out. It's not going to be a very exciting or a heavily edited. We all know Dirt Brute, Dirt Boss, Dirt Perfect. All of us know that it takes a lot of editing to make this stuff fun and interesting. So it's just going to be a raw video. All right, Mike, thanks for dropping in, man. You've humbled me, man. I appreciate you dropping in and making an appearance on here. I really appreciate it. You have a good night, man. Let's see here. Where are we at? Where am I at? An opinion. Oh, Carlos, thanks, Todd. All your advice and opinions. Looking forward for more live streams, small business advice videos. Zucchini. I'll say, heck yeah. Because if I say something else, I'm afraid it won't let me monetize the channel or the video when it records. I've been looking at the tilt buckets. What brand did you end up? Tag, T-A-G, and it's actually a they are in with Yanmar. So if you buy any Yanmar excavator now, it's got tag buckets. Tag used to just make attachments for everything, and I think they still do, but mostly Yanmar. Let's see here. James Hampton, I got you one on your long sleeve shirts. You should do a tattooed full sleeve. You never wear short sleeve shirts. That would be different. The reason I never wear short sleeves is out of respect for my older clients. There's a stigma that goes with, I've got full sleeves on both arms. And most of my clients, if at any point they see me pull my sleeves up and they see I've got tattoos, they're shocked because apparently having sleeves don't match my personality. And that's just the thing. If you walk up to do a quote and I'd say I've got cut off shirt and I've got full sleeves, some people are going to assume I'm a drug dealer or, a gang member or something. And that's just the stigma that comes along with it. And I could be really bitter about it. I could be like, well, I'm just going to dress however I want and heck with people's feelings. Well, the fact of the matter is that ain't going to hurt anybody but me and make other people uncomfortable. So I try to just be considerate, The older generation, a lot of them, it wasn't part of their world. Tattoos weren't. For me, it's an art form, Everything on this arm is dedicated to my daughter, Anima. And it was because after she turned a year old and me and my ex-wife split up, I didn't get to see him but every 2 to 3 weeks because I was doing over-the-road trucking. And, I just wanted something to make me think of her. So that's why I have tattoos. So I just try to be considerate. That's the main thing. Zucchini, thank you for subscribing. I just saw you pop up on my phone. I appreciate that. Every one of my subscribers, I appreciate. And thank you guys for being subscribers. And I know Dirt Perfect, Dirt Brute, Dirt Boss, they love their subscribers. And a lot of this and the way we do it is for y'all. And we appreciate it. Let's see here. Carlos Hernandez, good night to you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. We got Tim Freeman, Zucchini. Yeah, that makes sense. Apologies. I'll refrain from getting too animated. No, man, you're fine. You're fine. You guys can put in the comments whatever you want. I just verbally can't say certain things. Let's see here. Tim Freeman says good night to Carlos Hernandez. Good night. This is what's great. You guys are all community, just like us YouTubers and us YouTubers with our viewers. It's great. Zucchini says, absolutely no problem. I subscribed to the other channel. I've been subscribed here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you guys' support. James Ballard, thank you from Auburn, Alabama. Roll Tide. Thanks for coming in, James. We appreciate you and we're glad you're here. Let's see here. Okay. Look at this. We've got the Mikes in here. All the guys that start with Dirt Boss, Masonry, Excavating, Mike. Dirt Perfect, Mike. Captain Kleeman, Captain K, I think. Mike. Digging Life. Actually, Digging Life 21 is Todd, so I don't know what Digging Life Mike. I'm not sure. Let's see. Tom O. I have a 60-inch grading bucket for my Tarkushi TB153FR. It's a 12,000 pound machine. It works good. You just got to be smart how you use it. That's exactly right. Jake Duffin in the house. Thanks for being here, Jake. It's good to see you. He says, Todd, as far as sales, are there any classes you have taken or books that you have read to improve yourself in that aspect? No, I don't. I'm just kind of a student of the School of Hard Knocks. I've been in business again 10, 12 years, and I've learned the hard way. I have started watching Dan Lok, D-A-N, last name is Lok, L-O-K, and he shares a lot of my same philosophies as far as business and how to deal with customers and how to quote. And, he's just right in line with what I believe. So if you guys want to check him out, he would be good for you guys. His character, Zucchini, speaking of which, saw the auction footage recently. It was funny to watch. James Ballard, fingers crossed. I just sent out a quote with 3 different prices on what they could do on 4,800 foot property line clearing. Taking your advice. I'm telling you, man, the 3 quote method, it very rarely has failed me. And if it's just, sometimes a customer just does not have the funds. Sometimes they just don't have the funds and none of your 3 options work for them. But there are actually some customers, wealthier customers, and I've talked to people like this, And they will want the most expensive thing so they can say they bought the most expensive thing. They can say, I bought the best that I could get. So if you give them a really cheap price and make them feel like you're giving them a deal, it will almost insult them. It can insult these customers that you are assuming they need a deal. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen people like I was standing, I can't remember where one time, but they were to check out, and the person's like, I was able to get your price down to this. And the guy was insulted. He was mad. He said, I can pay my bills. And he insisted on paying the full price. Oh, well, dang, give me his discount. I'm poor. So, James Ballard, good luck to you, man. It's going to be awesome. I've got faith. And you know what? If you don't win this bid, you've done the best tactic I can think of. And that's giving the 3 quotes, the 3 options. And, it could be a personality thing, and my philosophy, if I feel uncomfortable with a customer, if I don't feel comfortable and I'm not meshing with them or we're not hitting it off, I will find a way to get out of it. I'll bid myself out of a job because I want to feel like I'm working for a friend. That's what I want to feel like the whole time I'm there. And especially when you're doing that and you mesh really good, they tend to bring you McDonald's or something to eat. And that works well, Alex Silvers, great videos you put out. Love the advice, man. I own a grading business as well. Right here in Travelers Rest, South Carolina, close to home. Hello, neighbor. Let's see here. So not too far from you. Look forward to every upload you put out. Thanks, man. High five and a fist bump to you. Jake Duffin, awesome. Thank you for the information. Oh, I finally got caught. I didn't know if I was going to. You guys got ahead of me. It's going to get hot. I'm going to have to shed a layer here. Oh, you guys don't see me outside of my work long sleeve shirts a whole lot, man. Whew. I actually like to wear a good button down shirt in my off time. It makes me feel a little bit, successful. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Dirt Brood, I'm okay with walking away from some customers. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. If you just don't feel comfortable with somebody, man, walk away from it or just tell them, I just don't think I'm the right guy for the job. There's nothing wrong with being honest. Dirt Boss, what's your day temps? Warm. Today it got up to like 62. This time of year, we're going to be hovering around 50s. That's kind of our average. We don't go into a freeze and stay frozen or anything. We're pretty temperate. It's pretty comfortable down here. Tim Freeman, you have another YouTuber in your area that does lawn care called Happy Family. I'll have to check them out. Happy Family. I'll have to make a note of that. Wendell Hopkins, we get to choose our customers like they get to choose us. And I do preach that sometimes to people. You're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. And when you get to that point where you're booked out so far and you got, say, a month and a half of work, the farther you get booked out, the more you'll find that you can interview the customer even a little bit more than they're interviewing you because now you're in demand. And once you become known in the county, the state, or the tri-state area, if you're in one of those, once you become known and desired, and people desire your company to do your work, and this is why it's important, especially when you're just getting started, that you win that popularity contest, that you're the up-and-coming contractor. And work on your personality, don't change yourself, but become a little bit more animated and work on your empathy, guys. You've got to be empathetic. You've got to give a darn about the jobs you do. If you don't care whether you do a good job or not, it's going to show, and you're going to develop a reputation for that. Dirt Brood, 40s on Cape Cod. I wouldn't mind 40s. That's good long sleeve weather. Pat Hamer, Grizzly Flats, California. Chase Holder, what exactly is the 3-quote method? You must have missed our show. Was it last night or night before? Okay. When I go to look at a job Okay. The idea behind the 3-quote method is to become the only bidder on a job. And one of the biggest parts is getting there first. So just a quick rundown. You answer the phone call by third ring. You get to that phone call by the third ring, and that way you don't miss that call. A lot of people are impatient. If you more than 3 rings, they'll hang up. They'll just turn their phone, go to Google, get the next contractor, call them. So third ring, answer the call. Then you talk to them on the phone, you lock it down, and you get to that quote as quickly as you can. Okay, they're going to be impressed with how quick you got to the phone. They're going to be impressed with how quick you got to the job site to look at the job. Now you've got to get there and you've beaten them. So what you've beaten everybody else. You've gotten there fast, but give quality, give your attention. Now you're on the job site. You need to listen to what that customer has to tell you. You need to listen to exactly what they're wanting to do. Okay. Now, if you need to, and you can't come up with it real quick off the top of your head because you haven't been doing this that long. For you beginners, tell them, I'll be back with you in a day or two. You go and you need to work up 3 quotes. To some degree, you've got to give them your best price. What you can get the job done at a decent quality. Never give a quote that's going to be junk. Give them the best quote you can at a decent quality. Next quote is mediocre. Give them, the mediocre job. If it's a driveway job, same equipment, same process, but a little bit thicker on the new material. So it takes longer for moisture to get through that material to the dirt below. And then you've got the best job you can do. You're going to put road fabric down. You're going to put 8 to 12 inches of road bond, and you're going to roll it with a roller if you have to rent the roller. This is your low, medium, and high grade. Just like when you go to the fuel pumps, low, medium, and high grade. But you want them close enough together to where somebody looks at them and is like, well, maybe I'll go with that next option up that's just where, my price range is. That's your 3-quote method. And then that way too, people in general think they need 3 prices to pick from. So if you can get there first before anybody and you can get them 3 separate prices before they can even get somebody out there to look at the job, they're not going to want to bother calling anybody else. They're going to be like, I like this guy. He's a straight shooter. I'm going to take from his 3 picks and I'm going to hire him. That's the 3-quote method. And it works for me like a charm. And I always deliver. I will always deliver. So Zucchini, I missed it, but sounds like you give 3 quotes, 3 options, 3 different prices based on those options. That's exactly right. And always try to give them a good job for any price. That's important. Aaron Manley, hi Todd, fellow NC business owner here. Could you explain your thoughts on non-CDL hauling practices for our type of business? I just broke my Yeti. I literally just broke my Yeti. Is that even possible? It still works. Okay. All right. Non-CDL hauling practices. To stay non-CDL, you've got to be, I think technically it's 26,001 pounds under. It's what it says on a Class C license. So as long as, and it's based on your weight ratings. All right. So you take the weight rating, gross vehicle weight rating of your truck, the weight rating of your trailer, add those together. If it's over 26,000 pounds, you have to have a CDL. Okay. There will be people that argue about this, and I'm telling you, they will argue. It's based on your weight rating. If your weight rating is 26,000 pounds and you get caught weighing 30,000 pounds, you're technically overweight. You're not CDL, you're overweight. So, you guys take that for what it is. I have no idea how I'm going to fix this. Has anybody ever had to fix a Yeti cut? This is just great. I think there must be a piece down in my drink now. So anyway, whatever. Still tastes good. That's federal too. That doesn't change. That kind of thing does not change state to state. It's your weight rating. So, Let's see, where was I at here? If I didn't answer your question, Aaron, follow up in the comments there, and I'll try to do better. Mass X Man 56 supporting your channel from Central Georgia. Thanks, Mass X. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, and thanks for supporting me. Zerkini says, good night, DBM&E. Dirt Boss must be going to bed. I better tell him good night. Let's see here. Where is he at? No, he must not be leaving. Anyway, phone's going to die. Good night, guys. Good night, Dirt Boss, man. Looking forward to talking to you, man. Thanks for dropping in. Let's see. Dirt Brute. Good night, Dirt Boss. Tim Freeman. Let's see, Dirt Boss. Masonry. No, that's a magnet, so you can clean it, put it back on the Yeti. Thank you, Dirt Boss. Thank you, Dirt. I'll be darned. Is that for real? Is that really a magnet? Oh, my God. That's freaking awesome. Thanks, Dirt Boss. See, man, he is full of advice. He just saved me, and I've been so aggravated. I guess it makes it so you can clean them or whatever. Let's see here. Duct tape and Bondo. I like where your mind's at, Dirt Brute. I really do. Man after my own heart. Kenny Fields, always enjoy your videos. Retiring after 31 years in law enforcement up here in Indiana to go full-time in the same kind of work that you do. Keep up the good work. Thanks. Thank you, Kenny Fields. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you being here. Mass X, Tim Freeman for Scythe. Pat Hamer, adios amigos. Adios, Pat. Thanks for coming in. You guys, drop me a comment. I get to play around on here as late as I want to until the wife comes home. Till then, the YouTubers will play. If you guys got any questions, throw them out there. Dirt Boss, till your phone dies, man. What you going to be going on? What's going to be going on with you guys? I'd like to know what's going to be coming in. I know Dirt Brute, he's going to have some stuff, ain't you? Let's see. I think you guys need to check all these guys out. All these YouTubers that came in tonight, man. I love all of them. They all have good. Wait a minute. I'm in Georgia, in Blue Ridge. Tim Freeman, I actually grew up not far from Blue Ridge, Georgia. Not far at all. Looks like everybody's starting to get kind of sleepy and go off to bed on me. Y'all are getting tired. Y'all stay up too late watching YouTube. That's what it is. We've been on here nearly 2 hours. I've had a blast. I appreciate you guys coming in. Drop it in the comments too. Any kind of videos you guys want to see. King says lightweights, all of them. I love it. I love it, man. We got all kinds of personality in here. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Besides having the logo, like I say, we're going to have a lot of merchandise. If you guys want to comment or email, digginglife21@gmail.com. Let me know what types of stuff you'd be interested in. You're not obligated to buy anything. I'm not going to be like, oh, you emailed me, I'm selling you a bunch of stuff. I'd just like to get an idea of what people are interested in and what kinds of stuff we should go ahead and have made up. I'm telling you, that guy, his name's Taylor. I need to come up with his information because any YouTubers, you need this guy's contact info because he took my vision and what I was telling him I wanted it to be, and he ran with it, man. Absolutely ran with it. Dirt Brute, I'm trying to build a shop right now. How big a shop are you building? I'd like to know. I would like to have a shop where I could work on my stuff myself a little bit easier. But then again, I really don't have a lot of time. I've got enough equipment and it's working enough to where I can shut something down and have it worked on. Like my mechanic, Tim, while I'm on vacation here at Thanksgiving, he's went by and done a full service on the excavator. So it's going to be ready to run wide open when I get back. Let's see, Zerkini, I enjoy your explanations of things. You go into detail on jobs when you can. I really try to. I try to make everything as detailed as I can, and I try to put it in terms as if it was somebody that didn't know the terminology of the business, because I do deal with a lot of people going into this business that have no background in it. They never done it. My buddy James that I've been helping out here lately, getting him some jobs. He is actually an airline pilot, and he was on furlough, because the airlines, I guess, had to. It's not layoff; it's like a furlough. While things are slow and not as many people are traveling, he had to take a break. So he decided he wanted to do this kind of work, and I was stoked for him. So he went and bought him a new 5500 dump truck and a brand new Kubota KX. I won't say it's an 057. I don't think it was an 040. And I like Kubota. I love my Kubota tractor, and I would really consider getting a Kubota excavator if they would come out with a bigger one. Let's see, we've had a couple of comments come in here. Zerkini, like the culvert job in a tight spot, went over a lot on hopping a gap. Yeah, I remember making that video, man. And, little things like that can make your job a lot easier when you know the little things you can do. Tim Freeman, I used to go all night. Now it takes me all night to do it. Amen. Let's see, Adam Gibson. If it wasn't for my state retirement and insurance, I would go into business for myself. Man, you can go into business after you retire. If that's something you want to do and you want to do it for the fun of it, just wait it out. Do it part-time if you want to. That's the name of the game, is if you just enjoy doing it. Zerkini, any repair videos you do would be good on video. Enjoy learning how to work on the equipment. Yeah, I've got a couple of those. I'm really not a good mechanic. I know Dirt Boss, he does a lot of his own mechanic work that I've seen in his older videos. And any of these, and now I know mine, Dirt Perfect, he's got his own shop, and he does all of his own work that I can see. And he's got several guys man behind the scenes. I think he's a YouTuber. I think he does YouTube. He does a lot of Mike's work. So there's that. They're 32 by 24. I could only wish. I'd love to have a shop that size. Just something to hang out in when it's cold and I don't have any work. But for 3 years, I haven't slowed down. It's been great. It says I want to park stuff out of the weather, and he enjoys welding. I love welding. I'm way out of practice. I used to be a welder. I used to build attachments for heavy machinery, as prototype machining and fabrication. And it was a lot of fun. I always liked it. Let's see, Foothills RV, great live stream, sir. I sent you an email. If you have a moment, have a great evening and rest of your weekend. I will definitely look at it, and I will drop you my thoughts on those dealerships. I think I've got some information that'll help you. Zerkini says, I live on a half-mile long dirt road. I've been slowly working on the road, digging some ditches and throwing down some rock. I work at it one step at a time, 1 foot at a time. Where would I need to look for road fabric? Not sure what it's actually called, but would definitely be better off to have it. If you just look up any erosion control supply company near you, you can find it. And the stuff I use is actually just silt fence. It's really big silt fence. You can get it in different lengths. I think it comes in 500-foot rolls, and I usually get the 12 or 20-foot long roll, wide, the road width. Let's see. Zerkini says Captain K was helping on a fuel pump the other day, if I recall. I ain't got a chance. I need to catch up on Dirt Purpose videos. He puts them out so fast and so many, it's hard for me to do my videos and edit them and get them out. And if you guys have just joined, be sure to hit the like button so I can kind of keep track of how many people I've had visit today. ALS. There's also non-woven geotextile, which is filter fabric. They have different applications. Absolutely. And the company that I get my fabric from has like 3 different types of fabrics. Dirt Brute, I get all my fabrics from the same place. I get my pipes and any septic supplies. That's a good point, Dirt Brute. I think any place that supplies septic, including concrete companies, I think they also carry all those fabrics as well. Zerkini, I have to look into it and see if some stuff now that I have a proper name for it. That's exactly right, man. Knowing the name of this stuff, that's just terminology, and you will learn it as you go along. Let's see, LS and farm supply stores if you're rural. I don't know if Tractor Supply carries that kind of thing. I know around North Carolina, there's southern states. Actually, I think they're all throughout the Southeast. I think that you can pick up just about anything from those places as well. So, man, we've had the best live stream. I hit my record. 50 people in here at one time. I cannot be more humbled. It is. You guys are great. You guys make this channel. I'm just one personality out of a blue million of them. And I appreciate you guys being here. Be sure in any of my videos, if you comment in them, if you got a specific video type or a video about something that you want me to do, just drop it in the comments. Say, hey, Todd, I'd like to see a video on this. I will see it. All my notifications are on. I will see it. And I have, notes. I've got a bunch of notes on my phone for different video ideas and videos that I need to make for you guys. I do this just as much for you guys as I do for my own entertainment. Let's see, there's my little wifey thing. She just asked if she could play more cards, and that's exactly right. She's asking if I'm okay because she hasn't heard from me. That woman actually, I was on a job site running a forestry mulcher one time, and let me just finish this. It's funny now, but it wasn't at the time. I was actually running a Terex forestry mulcher, and I didn't have very good service. And she tried to call me a bunch of times. Well, she got in her head that I'd turned that thing over. I was dead in a ditch or something. So she drove, I think it was 30, 45 minutes down to the job site where I was at. Well, she was almost there. Well, then I come up out of the woods. Well, my phone starts dinging, getting all the messages. And I was like, oh boy, I hadn't checked in all day. So needless to say, I was in big trouble. That woman was so mad and scared that I felt greatly loved. I felt tremendously loved. Oh boy, it took a while for her to. I'm not sure if she still loves it. I really don't. So check in with your wives, and I have a new rule now that if I'm working up in the mountains or in the woods and I don't have service, I tell her that morning when I kiss her goodbye and tell her I'm going to work that I will call and check in by 1 o'clock is usually the time. And if I can't get a call out, I'll just go to the truck and drive until I can get service and check in with her. So keep that in mind. If you're getting into the business and you're not going to have service, check in with your significant others, your husbands, wives, whatever, because, you can't worry them. We know we're okay, and we know that what we're doing, most of us. And but to them, especially with mulchers and heavy equipment, it's scary to them. I used to be a tree climber, but after me and Kelly got married, she grounded me. So no more tree climbing for Todd. Let's see, where are we at now on the messages? You guys probably keep up better than I do. Let's see, Dylan Goodman, I've got an 11-hour drive. Been down home visiting my family in Jacksonville, North Carolina, but time to head home to get back after that. Oh boy, that's a good drive. Dylan, where was it you said you were headed to? Or where is work at? Let's see. Adam Gibson. You remember I was the one that reached out about roadside mowing and brush cutting. Yeah. I love that kind of work. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, I love brush cutting. I love forestry mulching. Man, that's where it's at. LS. The purpose of road fabric. It serves two main purposes. It keeps the fines from pumping up into the gravel and making it muddier, and it also serves to spread wheel load over more area and poor soil. Yeah, if it's pretty kind of soft stuff, it'll help you bridge it. I've drove a loaded dump truck, but when you break through fast and you break through hard. So make sure you got a good coat of road bond or whatever on top of that fabric to give it that strength as well. James K, good job, bro. Thanks, James. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you being here. Al S for the second purpose in poor. Let's see. You guys can read that one. You need to use larger rock, like 4 to 6 inch minus, and you can cross really wet areas. That's true. That's true. Road fabric really does help. Let's see. Tempering. What brand of chainsaw do you run? I run Stihl. I love Stihl chainsaws. My first experience with a chainsaw was Husqvarna, and it was just, let's see, I think it was a Rancher or a Farm. Was it Farm Tough? I can't remember which one it was, but it was not a good experience. Skid Steer Drew in the house, everybody. Howdy, fellas, he says. Drew, you must have been burping that baby to be up this late. Let's see here. Dirt Brute, you're going to wake up one morning with an ankle tracking bracelet. Isn't that the truth, man? I'm telling you, they worry. They worry about you. Zucchini, yeah, I had to use some riprap after hurricanes here in southeast Texas to fix some really bad spots. Then topped it with some 3/4. Let's see here. Justin Muscleman, any tips on getting forestry mulching work? Ooh, advertise for bush hogging, actually, because people, if you ever did bush hogging, Skid Steer Drew will know this. You can advertise for bush hogging, or even if you advertise for mulching, people will call you and they'll say, it's not that bad. I think I just need some bush hogging done. And you get there and there's these 3-inch saplings. Now, bush hog can cut a 3-inch sapling, but it's not pretty. And it sounds like something's going to come apart. So just advertise for brush removal. Your terms are what's important when it comes to advertising, because everybody calls all this stuff different things. So you've got to outline it. If you think it has anything to do with brush, it's just like if you want to do brush mowing, you're going to have to do brush mowing, brush hogging, bush hogging. Some people call everything different terms. So you're going to have to go through every variance of brush control that you can. And I can guarantee you that you're going to get all these different things. And that's the great thing about a forestry mulcher or a drum mulcher, because you don't have to go out and look at the job necessarily. You can get a lot of pictures, the customer. And as long as you go something more heavy duty than what you see in the pictures, you're going to be able to handle it. So you guys be sure, drop me a like so I know how many people have joined the live stream at any point, and I really appreciate it. Let's see, where are we at here? Farm Boss. Yep, it was a Farm Boss. And I just wasn't impressed with it. I've always, and now I've got Stihl pole saw, I've got Stihl backpack blower, and I've got my 201T top handle chainsaw that I used to climb with and dismantle trees. And I've never had to have it rebuilt. It's still running, and it's just a solid saw. And I can hang it on my excavator and take it into the woods with me, and it's small and compact, but Stihl is just, I love them. I love how they run. Let's see. They run, seems to me like they run more wide open. It seems like Husqvarna is torquey, but it's just what you like. They all make good and bad stuff. Let's see here. Is there can you expect energy or other companies like that contract out work of that sort, Justin? We had some done on our road, and power companies do contract out for forestry mulching and right-of-way clearing, but like a lot of the power companies here in North Carolina use Asplund, the tree company, and they have their own forestry mulchers. So The thing about working for bigger companies is they want the cheapest bidder. When it comes to forestry mulching, roadside mowing and stuff, subdivisions, you go to a subdivision, find out who's over the HOA, and tell them you want to bid on the mowing. That has been the best money I've made. I tend to make with my mulching head. It's a 3-foot cut, and I did a video on this the other day. If you guys wanted to go back, but each 3-foot head, the head points up on the bank, and with each 3-foot cut, every foot I cut is 20 cents, and it usually takes me 3 to 4 3-foot cuts to get up the banks or down the banks. So you can figure for every foot of subdivision, you're going to make 60 cents. Now, you think how, if you watch the videos, how fast I'm swinging that head and making those 20-cent passes, man, it seems cheap, but you make good money. That last subdivision, I'm working on a subdivision now, but the one before that, we ended up making, I was there for, let me get this right, guys, 30 hours of actual mulching time. That doesn't count blowing the debris off the roads or anything. I think it was 33 hours of mulch time. Just me, one guy, one machine, and we made $8,600. So not bad money at all. Forestry mulching is a good business to be in, especially if you're willing to drive an hour from your home base. It does not matter where you live. I'm pretty sure you could live in the desert and be able to get forestry mulching work. I bet you anything my mulcher would eat a cactus and spit out toothpicks. It's a bad dude, man. It's a bad dude. As far as mulchers go, while we're on that subject, I will say if you're mostly flat country and solid ground, I would go with a skid steer with a forestry mulcher. If you're on uneven ground or wet ground, I would go with an excavator. Let's see here. I'll catch you later, brother. Thanks for coming in, Wendell. It's good to see you, man. Thanks for joining the broadcast. Dirt root. Here in Mass, we call it gravely work. You know, the terminologies are so different. And that's the hard thing, too, is a lot of the people that need these types of work have just moved in and bought a piece of property and they're wanting some work done. And if you have somebody from South Georgia move to Connecticut, more than likely their terminologies are off. Their terminologies, you know, I have people call me and they're like, I've got tall grass, I need mowed. Well, I get there and I'm like, that is some big weeds. What you need is called bush hogging. But on my advertisements, I've got every terminology. It don't matter where you live or what you search for or Google, Southeastern Land Specialist pops up. I can tell you that right now. We are everywhere, man. We are everywhere. Let's see. What was your first piece of equipment when you started? I bought one of those gray market Yanmar tractors. It was a, oh man, it was red. The loader was a piece of junk, man. I can't remember. It was a mid-'80s tractor. They couldn't even tell me for sure what year the thing was, but it's one of those Korean tractors, Yanmars, and they take them and they completely go through them. They repaint them, and I'm going to tell you what, that thing was a hoss. It was a 50 horsepower, and I beat the devil out of it, and it never did quit. That thing was tough. It was a bad dude. I ain't got nothing bad to say about those gray market Yanmars. Now somebody else out there might disagree with me, but I can tell you it was good to me. That machine was really good to me. Let's see, Kenny Coyote. Oh, that I already answered him. Sorry. Skitzer Drew. Seems like mulching confuses people around here. I advertised brush cutting and it worked well. See there, it's all about your terminology. Like to us, we call it mulching because it turns trees and saplings into mulch. But people who think they need mulching are thinking about you going to the mulch yard, getting this pretty black and red mulch and putting it around their flowers. And that's where it kind of falls apart. You know, your terminologies are off. I find that if you can, where you're advertising, you use pictures. Like if you've got a web page, don't just put mulching there. You do forestry mulching, and you put the picture of your machine, and it doesn't take a genius to look at this machine and see these teeth that are razor sharp and know that thing is a mulcher, and it's going to eat everything in its path, whether it is grass, leaves, brush, trees, turtles, rabbits. It don't matter. That thing's going to eat it, and it's going to spit out nothing. Not much anyway. Let's see here. LS, forestry mulching varies a lot around the country, not too common here in Maine, other than graded right-of-way maintenance. They don't get along well with granite boulders everywhere. No, they don't. No, my mulcher uses what's called samurai teeth, and they are razor sharp, and they actually sharpen themselves while you're cutting through organic debris. If you hit a rock, it's pretty much done. You just got to change the teeth. My teeth have two sides, it cuts up here, and then when that's wore out, you flip it, and it's got another tooth. Each one of those is $40. So you hit a rock, each one is $20 out the door. Costs a lot. But other than the teeth, that mulching head has taken a beating. And I mean, I've worked it, and it is not the least bit out of balance, and it has no play in the bearings. That thing is solid. Zucchini says, I live in Texas, can't spit without hitting a forestry mulching job. I believe that. 100%. Tim Freeman, do you watch Upstate Brush Control? I do watch him. Oh, I got to move on from that one. Justin Muscleman, would your rate be the same for an excavator and a skid steer for mulching, or would your rate vary depending on the equipment? I can tell you that my excavator, the MR Vio 80 with the FMX 36 mulching head, varies most of the time between $1,800 and $2,200 for a full 8-hour day. But I charge a minimum of $1,250 for a half day, and that includes hauling to the job within an hour or so. So now with a skid steer mounted unit, I used to use a Terex with a bull hog head, and my prices ranged mostly between, I think it was $2,200 and $2,800 for an 8-hour day. Now, some people, man, they get out here and they run them things for $150 an hour, and I think that you're just setting yourself up to barely make it in the long run. I think you're going to be out a ton of maintenance. I think those guys ought to get like $250 an hour or more. I mean, you're talking about a machine that is highly efficient. You should get paid for that efficiency. Let's see. Where was I at here? Dylan Goodman, heading back to Oakville, New York. Then Monday, I have to head for Tulsa, Oklahoma with an oversized load. So ready to just be home doing my dirt work. Man, I feel you, dude. I feel you. I am kind of a silent partner in a hotshot trucking business, and it's a tough business to be in. You've got to be dedicated. Trucking in general is tough. That's one reason I like the dump truck service. I like it because, what you make per hour is good. For you guys out there who run these single axles, don't sell yourself short. If you are running your business and you're doing the advertising and you book the loads and everything, okay, you're not running for a quarry. I can tell you in my area, I charge $156 an hour. I was seeing on here the other day, guys were talking about charging $50 an hour, $80 an hour. Man, you guys deserve better than that. You got to value yourself more than that. You can get more. I would not move my truck for less than $100 an hour. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because it costs money to run these things. You guys have developed a skill, especially if you can tailgate a load. Now, if all you can do is go to the quarry, load the thing, and dump it in a pile, and all you got to do is haul it 5 minutes from the quarry. Sure, $50 is fine all day long. But here's the thing, okay? You are on a job. You're running your big excavator, okay? I average $156 an hour. I charge that for everything. Why? Again, I'm going to tell you why. Because if I'm sitting on my excavator and I'm making $156 an hour, somebody calls me up, needing gravel. I'm booked out for 6 weeks. Okay, I've got plenty of work. Why in the world would I stop my excavator making $156 an hour, plenty of work, and then go to run for $50 an hour? I'm cutting my own throat. I'm messing my own self up. So you tell them, say, well, it's going to be 156. It's going to take me an hour from the time I get off this machine to go jump my truck, haul the load, get back here, be back operating. Okay, if I don't make 156 or more, and believe me, we have charged $250 for an hour. People, if they don't want to pay you that, then they need to call somebody who's less in demand. It's okay. You don't have to get mad because they don't want to pay you what your time is actually worth. Okay, somebody who just started a business and is sitting at home waiting, praying for a load, frankly, their time and they're just not in demand. And when you're not in demand, then you've got to work for less. Okay, so for those of us who are booked out 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, even more, if you're making 156 an hour, nobody can blame you if you say, well, for me to stop doing this easy, running this machine, I might make $180 an hour. Okay, so they're like, whoa, that's ridiculous. I had a guy last year haul it to me for $50. Say, okay, we'll call him back. Well, I can't get a hold of him. Okay, well, that's my price. That's what I need to have for it to be worth me going to haul this load for you. They can't blame you. They're going to get mad because they're like, well, I paid $50 last year. Okay, call them up. And well, if they're busy too, guess what? Their prices went up too. There's a reason they're calling you. Okay. Now, if they can't get anybody else, they just call around. You'll probably be able to get somebody cheaper. I'm just really busy and I can't break away for less than that. Okay. Just call around. If you can't get nobody else, call me back. We'll see what we can do. In 30 minutes, they're going to call you back and be like, well, I can't get a hold of anybody. I called one guy and he had a tandem and he can't get here or he can't get in here. So what can you do? $180 an hour plus material. You tell them the same price because you're in demand. So for what it's worth out there, guys, you can make more money. I make more money with my single axle because, one, I can be available because I'm a boss man. I can choose to load my stuff up and do whatever I want. I can choose to make myself available for the right amount of money. And if somebody's like, well, you're ripping people off, I am not forcing them to hire me. I am all for somebody getting a better deal, but I'm not going to cut my nose off to spite my face. You got to take care of you and your family. And you can't do that if you cut your own throat. There's too many people out here who are trying to cut each other's throats to do that, guys. So know your worth. You guys who are out here are just starting a dump truck business, especially a single axle, because you can put your truck anywhere. You can tailgate almost anywhere. Know what you're worth, and besides that, you're paying for your advertising and you're paying for all the costs of that truck. I don't know how these quarry drivers around Asheville, the quarry drivers, their average haul is $80 per hour. And I'm like, how? How can you afford to operate that big machine with all those moving parts for $80 an hour? I have no idea. I'm glad it ain't me paying their bills. So, moving right along. Where was I at, guys? My first piece of equipment was a 1984 long 460, mid-40s horsepower. Didn't have a loader, just a 3-point bucket with a pull string release. Was a right nightmare, but I got some work done. Amen. Let's see, dirt brute. Terminology is a big problem here on Cape Cod because there's a lot of vacation homes. People are from all over the country. Man, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And it's just that much more important that you cover as broad a spectrum of terminology as you can. Just like with us YouTubers, when we put a video out, we have to put tags for that video. So when people search for certain words, they find your video. And we only have like 500 letters that they allow us. So we have to think of every area, region that people watch us from. Like most of my viewers come from the United States, Australia, Sweden, Japan, and a few others. But most of them are English speaking. But their terminology varies greatly. And that's what makes advertising hard, because you've got to, if you've only got so much room, like say a billboard, you've got to use the terms. You've got to use as many terms as you can without making them so small that people don't pay attention to each individual word on the billboard. But it's got to be different terms that are going to, stick out to various people. It can be so difficult. Running a business is a psychological game just as much as it is anything else, and a popularity contest. I'm telling you, that's the biggest term that I can use to make it the most obvious. Is it's a popularity contest. That's exactly what it is. Dylan Goodman, I've been an owner-op for 13 years, and the rules and regulations are getting ridiculous. He's talking about trucking, commercial trucking, tractor trailers. I see the writing on the wall with the industry. A lot of the reason I started doing excavating. Yeah, Dylan, I really think that you are in a really good spot. You being an owner operator. What I would do if I were you, and knowing what I know, I would, if you're going to get out of over the road trucking, I would keep my authority, and I would transfer it over into an excavating name if you don't already. And then that way, if it's the time of year, until your grading and excavating really takes off, you're still going to you can have a big heavy duty dump truck with a trailer, and you can still haul loads. You can haul heavy equipment for people. I do that. I make pretty good money hauling people's equipment. I can haul a 12,000 pound machine, make $450 if it takes me 30 minutes. So I make good money trucking too. Use every angle you can when you're starting out. Make as much as you can with as much different things as you can. Geobert, this thing's still going. You know it is, man. We still got it going. We got questions to answer. We hanging out. Justin Muscleman, what's wrong with upstate brush control? I just don't. Personality conflict. Skidster Drew, people will pay for convenience. Single axle dump trucks are convenient, just like Dollar General. That's exactly right, Drew. That's exactly right. Let's say, single axle. Sorry, I was thinking about trying to respond to Justin's message nicely, but I don't talk about anybody. I'm not going to talk about anybody, and it's just personality differences. Single axles are so convenient, and you can pull a lot of weight with one. Mine, where I've got them tagged at, I can haul, I want to say I can haul 22,000 pounds legally, and that's a good size machine. So you can advertise for commercial transport. You can haul Christmas trees for people. You can haul anything you want, but you have to be properly licensed, and certainly if you're going to travel outside of state, you have to have an International Fuel Tax Agreement stickers, which is IFTA, and or trip permits. I'm going to do trip permits. I just don't go out of state any. That's the only thing about it. Let's see here. Dirt Brute. I used to run my dump trailer for the quarry and asphalt plant. I quit because they set their rates and they're nothing compared to my excavator. See, right there, Dirt Brute tells it. These quarries and asphalt plants, they rely on the fact that most truck drivers are that. They're truck drivers. They're not businessmen, and they don't know how to find work otherwise. So they know that we can say, hey, man, come drive for us. We'll give you $80 an hour and 10 hours a day. So they feel like, oh, man, I'm guaranteed $800 a day. I'm guaranteed it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you would rather be guaranteed so many hours, that's fine. And that's fine if it works for you. But the fact of the matter is, the way I figure, if I work 10 hours, I make $1,560. Okay. I do my own advertising, so that's a little bit of money out of it, but I can guarantee you that my profits are well over $1,000 a day. So if you're trading in, letting somebody else guarantee you work and finding the work for you. And, you know, even with asphalt, it gets too cold or something shuts it down. Are they just going to hand you about $800 a day while you're waiting on stuff to do? No, they're not. And you're not going to have advertising in place to haul gravel, you know. And the other thing is, too, if you advertise and you go and deliver somebody's driveway gravel and you tailgate it and you do a beautiful job, they don't have to have their neighbor with a tractor come and touch it up. You give them a card to stick on their refrigerator, and there's a good chance that they are going to call you next time or next year when they want a touch-up load. And you do that long enough, you'll get to where people are ringing your phone off the hook just for their loads of gravel. I'm telling you, dump trucking's a great business. I just wouldn't contract on with anybody. I would find my own loads. Let's see here. Where was I at? Skidster Drew says, yep, we did that one. Dirt Brute. I used to run my dump trailer for the quarry and asphalt plant. I quit because, yeah, we read that one too. I got behind. Skidster Drew says, yes, I make more per hour than the triaxles around here. Case in point. And you're running 2, 4, 6, 8 less tires with a single axle. That is a whole axle less, a drop axle less, smaller motor. It's just, you know, don't sell yourself short because it's going to be hard to get started or it's hard to find your loads initially. You can, you know, if you put the work out and you do your research, Kelly subs gravel loads out to the coast. We get calls for a load of gravel, and we've got drivers all over North Carolina. We've got them everywhere. And Kelly will call up the driver that's in the area for the person that called us and dispatches it. Makes a little bit of money. Let's see. Tim Freeman, is it worth buying a spreader bed? Absolutely. And it's actually just your tailgate. That's the main thing. But yeah, you want a rock bed. And if you buy a dump truck and you're speccing it out, you need to get, for me, it's a rock bed. And I would at least get a 2 or 3-way tailgate, which means it's got chains at the bottom and it'll only let the tailgate open up so much. That's a spreader gate. Or it'll open a barn gate to the side, or it'll flip down at the top, which is great for brush. So 3-way tailgate's my favorite. Let's get your It's crazy the different terminology for stone classifications around the country. That's exactly right. He says, I hear road bond, which I think is what we call dense grade. The most common term for road bond is crush and run or crusher run. It's just where they run the rock through the crusher and it comes out with 3/4 sized gravel mixed with the granite dust or rock dust. Let's see. Where am I at? That's all I want to say. Dylan Goodman. That's a lot of what I've been doing is running my tandem and hauling equipment when I'm home. So good, man. If you got a tandem, you're already ahead of the game, dude. You're already ahead of the game. He says, I don't have to have any dirt work. I've been setting myself up for the change over the last couple of years. And it's really smart of you to do that, Dylan. It's really smart to make a slow transition, and that way you don't have that slow period in the beginning. You're just set up. LS, yep, around here, rock is all by size minus, i.e. 3/4 minus gravel has fines, 3/4 stones, clean crush with no fines. Dylan Goodman, I've got a 50-ton low boy. I also have a dump trailer as well. My 28,000-pound machine, skid steer, and dozer. My trucking is going well, but excavating is slow. So just make a slow transition, and it may not be where you ever totally get out of either one. You just kind of mix it up so you get to stay home more. Let's see. Skidster Drew tells Tim Freeman, we run triaxles, tandems, and singles here. My brother-in-law runs for a contractor with 2 peat triaxles for $85 an hour. He says, screw that. And that's exactly right. There's no way in HE double hockey sticks that I would run any of my stuff for $85 an hour. You're getting robbed is what's happening. You are doing all the work. You're carrying all the overhead, and some joker is working you, and he's counting nothing but Benjamins, $100 bills. It almost, I don't like that. That ain't right, man. That ain't right at all. Dylan Goodman, but like you said, too many dump truck drivers will still cut your throat. They won't come together and set a price and stick to it. You got guys who will haul for 60 hours. Crazy. That's exactly right. And you know what I do? I wait. I wait for that customer that needs me right now. I wait for them to need a load tomorrow, because I know all those guys who run for 60 an hour get booked up and promised out. So either A, they can't get to the good paying loads, or 2, they shaft whoever they've contracted and signed on to go run this other load that pays better, and they end up getting canned, and it'll bite them in the end. That's what happens. That's real talk. Let's see here. Skidster Drew to Dylan Goodman says, our single axle guys around here are all the same price. Single axles, and I preach it to everybody I come across. I have a lot of guys in the area that call me. I sub to all of them, and I tell them, don't move that truck for less than $100 an hour for anybody, for me or anybody else. That's, you need to make yours. You guys work too hard to work for nothing. It's just, it ain't right. It's what it is. As the hillbillies say, it ain't right. I tell you, it just ain't right. Let's see here. Zucchini. A lot of that applies to a lot of things. I'm a programmer, and people love my products, which are purchased annually. If you do good work, you won't have to advertise after that point. That's exactly right. At some point, you don't want to build a reputation for being cheap. You want to be reasonable, but you want to be more reliable than anything. You want to be that person that they know, no matter what, they can call you, and you're going to provide them the product. You're going to provide them the result that they ask for. I've had plenty of my customers tell me that I'm the most expensive that they've ever had price a job, but that I deliver. That's their word, more than once. Todd delivers, and I love that reputation, and I will keep that reputation. So just deliver, and eventually, these contractors that need reliable workers, they're going to quit calling all these jacklegs that work for nothing, who leave them hanging because something better paying came up. They're going to know you're reliable. You got a higher price, but there's a reason for that, and it will benefit you. Let's see here. Sir King, people will start to advertise for you. That's exactly right. Your customers will advertise for you, especially if you're exceptional. If you do more, it's easy, if you're high priced and you get ahead, or you got a little extra time to do something a little extra and not charge extra. And then they feel like they got a little something more than what they paid for. And when you do that, when you exceed expectations, that's when people will love you, and they will go out of their way to tell other people about you. That makes a big difference. Let's see. Dylan Goodman to Skid Steer Drew. I won't roll my dump truck out of the yard for less than $120 an hour. And I say, good for you, praise you, because you're not only helping yourself, but you're helping the industry around you. And anybody who's your competitor should thank you. Geobert. How many hours on the Anmar? We just rolled it over, I want to say 26 or 2,700 hours. So it's got a few hours on it. I expect to get 7,000 hours out of it before I have really major problems. Pump goes out or whatever. Let's see, Zucchini. I don't like waiting for deliveries. Ha ha. I'll pay a little more for something delivered that day. Absolutely. And most people will. Most people do not plan ahead. Most people are not planners. And when they need something, it's because they've held out till they just can't stand it anymore. Especially with driveway repairs. And Skid Steer Drew, you can probably attest to this. You can, like driveway jobs, people don't just typically do touch-up jobs that are cheap. They wait until that sucker is rutted. They wait till it's potholed and muddy, and then they call you and want you to work a miracle for super cheap. And they'll wait until they can't get up the driveway. Here in the mountains, once it gets muddy, you're not getting up it when it rains. So that's the case. Let's say zucchini, fast, good, but not cheap. Cheap and fast, but not good. True story. Look at this. Skid Steer Drew had his comment held for my review. Drew ain't got a bad thing in his body to say. I can't believe that. Let's see what he said here. I'm not even going to pre-read it. We have Crusher Run here. Our dense grade is 2 different classifications of Crusher Run mixed in a Pug Mill water. This stuff sets up tighter than Dick's hat band. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. They thought Dick's was like talking about Dick's. So it's a D-I-C-K apostrophe S, just for those Nancys out there, Karens. So we'll show it. We'll show Drew's comment. There you go, Drew. Dirt Brute. A lot of my customers referred me to their friends who have been burned by other people. And you know what? The sad thing is, you go quote a job. You lose said quote. They get ripped off. They call you. And then they're like, well, you quoted me 13,000. This person quoted 10 and burned me and I didn't get what I want. Can you finish it for 3,000? No, it don't work that way. It's still going to cost you 13,000, and it might cost more because I got to unfix what they did. And that's the sad fact. So now they definitely can't afford it. They definitely can't afford it. It's sad. Bad contractors hurt all of us. Hurts customers and other contractors alike. They waste our time because we go doing quotes that we were planning on delivering on, and we wasted our time. So don't dwell on it, but be aware that's how the industry is. And it's okay. We just move on. Let's see here. Drew, Skid Steer Drew says 10-4 driver. They wait until it's impassable and want you to fix it with 10 tons. Me, if it's a muddy road, I will put between 16 and 32 tons per 100 feet to coat it. Drew, it ain't nothing to apologize for, Drew. I think the system just took what you said the wrong way, didn't it? Dylan Goodman, the good thing about my area is it isn't saturated with a ton of independents like me. And all the old timers who had small operations are all retiring. Yeah, that's similar everywhere. Nobody, sorry about that. Oh, that's shiny. Cover that back up, Todd. That's shiny head. That's true in a lot of places. I am 36 years old. I'll be or 37. How old am I? It don't matter. I'm somewhere in the mid-30s and going up a year December 10th. And that's true everywhere. Guys in our age bracket, 30 to 40, 45, our generation really isn't into this kind of stuff. They're into computers and stuff like that. And definitely the generation below us, they've got no use for it. Most young people are not, they're just not into this. They're not raised into it because parents, instead of taking their kids camping like my dad did or making them getting them into sports, which we love, they stuff their face in front of a TV or a video game to occupy them because they don't want to raise them or do anything with them. So then when it comes to getting outside and getting dirty, guess what? They're scared of it, or it's not their thing, and it's not their fault. Whose fault is it, do you think? Yeah. So, Dylan Goodman. Okay, Sir Kenny, I'll take a reference from someone I know before I look at an advertisement. The advertiser is going to be biased about the price, quality of work, etc. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Your friend can show you the work that was done and tell you how the job went for them. Geo Burt, is the mulcher hard on the Yanmar? It's wicked hard on my T770. No, not really. I use momentum more than push, and the case drain really makes a difference in bypassing that sudden pressure surges. I haven't had any signs of it causing anything out of the ordinary to damage the excavator at all. Sir Kenny, sadly, you can't hardly find a decent company out here that doesn't overcharge for bad work. And that's true. And that's true in a lot of industries. Skidsteer Drew, Geo Bart, what had you running on that 770? That's a good question. I'd like to know too. Zucchini paid $1,300 a day for some clearing. 3 days to clear a spot about 30 by 40. Quoted for 8 hours a day, but we're only at the job site about 3 hours a day. Yeah, if they quoted you by the day, and you would have been a lot better off for a clearing job like that, I would have just gotten a quote to clear it. And that way, you know the end result you're supposed to get. You know whether you're just getting trees rushed down, whether it's getting stumped and grubbed, or if it's going to be done, ready, sowed in grass with straw put down. Something like that, I would have definitely gotten a solid quote just for the result, not time. Tim Freeman, my son's birthday is December 10th too. Well, happy birthday to your son, Tim. That's awesome, man. Zucchini, I ended up renting and getting more work done in a day than they got for the $1,300 they charged me. Charged me $300 for delivery. See, if you can do this stuff yourself, rent and do it. Yeah, I'm all for it. It's a good learning experience. Skidsteer Drew's birthday is December 10th. That's cool, man. I will not forget your birthday. Geo Burt, BB, Dirt Brute. My area is highly saturated due to the large amount of tourism we have here on Cape Cod. I still do okay. So as long as you got a lot of people filing through, you guys are going to be all right. Let's see, Geo Burt, looks like he's running a Bobcat. Dylan Goodman, it's the fault of all these man bun wearing dads, LOL, but I'm 35 and I don't have a college education, but I sure make more than the kids with basket weaving degrees. Solid fact, man. Solid fact. Zucchini, that's awesome. My B-day is the 7th. Lots of combined birthday, Xmas presents. No kidding, man. I always got shafted as a kid. We'll do your birthday and Christmas at the same time. Yeah. Skidsteer Drew to Geo Bart. If you had a knife head with depth control rings, it would be easier on it. That's a fact. DCR or depth control head is awesome. That Bobcat head is a Fecon and probably running carbides. See, Skidsteer Drew, man. All these YouTubers, they're not just making videos. They know their stuff. LS, yeah, cleared is a word that's meaning varies a lot between places. It can mean trees cut versus stumped versus graded, mulched, and seeded. That's exactly right. And you got to be very specific about what you're asking for or what you're ordering. Tim Freeman, Dirt Brute, we have the same thing in my area. Geo Burt, yes, carbide. Oh man, carbide or hammer teeth, man, they will work it over. I would definitely go with shark teeth and a DCR head. They just glide through wood. It looks like if you've got a log on the ground and you drive over it and then start back dragging, it'll shut it down like a planer. Let's see. Skizzer Drew says to Geo Bart, check out a Prentice mulcher, density map FAE with a bite limiter or a Fecon DCR. Again, I've used a Fecon DCR and it is a bad dude. To Drew, there's a Blackhawk. I think Fecon's got like something called a Blackhawk head. It's not as like the drum. I don't think is as big as a bull hog. If you guys haven't yet, click a like on the screen so I can kind of keep a track of a little bit better how many of you are just coming in. And that way I know if I need to go back and kind of do a follow-up of everything we've talked about. Zucchini, well, for me, I wanted trees gone and graded, not hauled off, burned on site in another spot on the land. Yeah, that would have been a cake job, man. 30 by 40, was it? And depending on the size of the trees too. You know, if they weren't over maybe 2 feet in diameter, I could breeze through that and burn it. You know, if you especially if you got pine, something with pitch in it that's going to get a really hot fire burning really quick, you can burn green stuff easy. I mean, I've cleared an acre, which is 209 feet by 209 feet of pine saplings. I cleared it, pulled the trees, and burned them all in one day. I actually got a video of it. Man, I was burning it up that day and having a blast. Let's see here. Said he needed the spot cleaned up for a shop I'm going to have put up. Man, congratulations on the shop, man. That's going to be awesome. Paying for that job is actually what led me to decide to get my own machine. Exactly. Okay, exactly. Get your machine, use it, and make things happen. Say Tim Freeman, you younger boys wait till you get 60 and they tell you're too old but too young to retire. As long as I can climb in a machine or a dump truck, you know, I think I'm hoping I would like to retire by the time I'm 50. The way things are working, it may not happen. It might happen. Hopefully things work good and hopefully plans work out. But even after I retire, I think I'm still going to run my dump truck service, haul some gravel, and I'll still do some excavator work. I'm never going to just totally shut it down. Make my play money. Skidster Drew, yes, the new Fecon head, forgot about it. Diamond makes one too with quad-coat teeth. I'll have to check into that. That sounds like it'd be a good one. Zucchini, yeah, under 2 foot. Cut a couple down near power lines with a 16-inch bar and only one. The bar wasn't all the way through, but only by an inch or two. Yeah, so if that was what you had, man, they should have blew through that stuff. And for them to only be on site for 3 hours a day, that's bull. You got to make hay while the sun shines, you know. Zucchini, I'm already retired. Military only needed me for 20 years. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. That's awesome. Thanks. You know, you did your service. Now it's time for you to have a little bit of fun. Just like me. Man, we've been on here for going on 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I've had a blast with each and every one of you. If any of you guys in here have any questions, you know, Skid Steer Drew in here, he's very knowledgeable on brush type stuff. He's down in Alabama. Congratulations again, Drew, man. How's the family doing? You know, I know you haven't been able, when's it going to be that you can start back to work? How long they got you quarantined? Where am I at now? Zucchini, for sure. I've been enjoying being my own boss without worry of slow months. Amen. Amen. Enjoy it. Dirt Brick, we can't burn here. I actually got in trouble with the Coast Guard and the fire department. What? Where are you at, Dirt Brick? I got to know. Because in North Carolina, they're all for us burning. I can have a permit in 5 minutes once I open my phone. Let's see. Now, anybody in here, if you haven't checked out Skid Steer Drew's channel, you need to. He is a great guy, and he's starting his own business. So let's show him some love and some support. Go over there, subscribe to him. His channel is a lot of fun. It's still a small channel, but we all grow from somewhere. So check him out. Let's see. Zucchini says, I went from my retirement check every month as my only income to around $8,000 to $15,000 a month doing the programming thing, but the excavator is my backup plan. Man, having more than one revenue stream is a great idea. Everybody needs more, at least two main revenue streams. Drew is starting back tomorrow if the weather holds up. Need to haul some rock. Nice, man. I need to get your phone number so I can call and check in with you. If you want to, you can email it to digginglife21 at Gmail. I don't think I've got your number yet. Geo Burt, I just got the Bobcat head and machine about 3 months ago. Going to try knives or a different head. I can get knives and adapters from Romex. Just changing over to knives will help a lot. As long as you can control yourself and not just jam the head into the wood too fast. The DCR head, what it is it only lets you cut so much and so fast at a time. And it helps you not kill the speed of the head too quickly. Run those knives is a lot like swinging an axe. It's just as much about momentum as it is power that's pushing it through. So you get that head spooled all the way up, and each one of those knives is like a little axe, and it's going to chip away at it. Let's see, where are we at? Gilbert, I just got the Bobcat head and machine about 3 months. Oh, I already got that one. Wingnut hammer down. How many tons is your dump truck? My dump truck, the F-750, I can haul 9.25 tons legally. And my big dump truck, because it's so blame heavy, I can actually only haul 7.5 tons on it. But both of them can haul 10 tons pretty easily. Sketcher Drew, got a driveway to strip and backfill a garage. I hope you got you a good GoPro and a camera tripod, because I want to see it, Drew. I want to see some good videos coming out of you, man. I know you do good work. You need to put it out there for the world to see. Tim Freeman, I have been retired in my late 40s. Nice, man. That's awesome. Zucchini, he's the one that just started, right? Pretty sure I subbed to him yesterday. I don't know if Drew just started, but he is a young channel, and he's got quite a few subscribers. He's got over 1,000, so he's doing good. Let's see, yeah. Trucking was that. Does 103 tons of gravel sound right for a 490 square foot area putting down dense grade? I usually operate by length. I know that 16 tons will do 100 feet long, about 10 feet wide, and it'll go down about 4 inches thick. So hopefully that helps you. I've got a calculator, but I'm sure everybody doesn't want to see me sit here and calculate material. Now, Drew may be able to calculate that a little better than me if he could pull it up. Dirt Brute, I'm on Cape Cod. I live near Otis Air Force Base. Let's see. Zucchini, do you use a gimbal? No, I don't. I just use a regular tripod. A gimbal would probably be a good thing. Now my drone that I use has a 3-axis gimbal, and it works really, really well. Geobert, I believe you're on my Facebook, Drew. Drew Gardner is his name, I think. Zucchini, yeah, I put my head onto your channel. Some short videos I saw. Looks like you do good work. Tim Freeman, most of the land around here is national forest. That would explain. Like, they wouldn't want you to burn around it too much. Skitcher Drew, I very well may be. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I know a lot of my viewers, they message between themselves, and I encourage that. I love it. But sometimes I can't tell if they're messaging me or somebody else. Trekking with Zach. That helps a lot. It's 138 feet long and 30 feet wide. So, yeah, that's probably pretty close on tonnage. I think that's probably a good coat, and it's probably even more than what is absolutely necessary, which I always encourage going as thick as you can on material like that. LS, that's a lot of rock for that area. Yep, but more is definitely better than too little. That's for sure. All right, looks like Skidster Drew's helping trucking with Zach on figuring his needed material. Zucchini, my question about the donation for the GoPro is for Skid Steer Drew. Right, yeah. Just so if you're listening, Drew, Zerkini says that he could donate you some like a GoPro or maybe some GoPro stuff. How's this? That's 4,140 square feet. Okay. So instead of 490. Yeah, you guys will have to figure that one up because I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I've got the Hero 8 Black, and I love this GoPro. It's got the Hyper Smooth 2.0, Drew, and as soon as you got a little bit of extra money, man, and they do use a different battery. The battery enables the Hyper Smooth and a couple other features. So you can run this GoPro with any of the other batteries that are just black, but I think it can't record maybe 4K. I think. Not sure. But these things are so handy. And the Hero 8 has built-in mounts right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's a handy little, I mean, I love this GoPro. I could see going to a more professional camera for anything that's like off tripod, but I'll probably stick with GoPro as far as how easy they are to mount, like over your shoulder or on the screen in front of you. And just super, super handy. And the GoPro, the difference in this one and the older ones is just way better. It's got a mic here as well as, where's the other one? I thought I had another one on here. I want to say it had a mic pickup in the back, but you can get an external mic that plugs into the side and mounts to the top too, which is really cool. Let's see. Where are we at now? Zerkini says, do you use the built-in mic on the GoPro? I do currently. I would like to get an external mic set up. I have tried using the clip-on mics, but in my machinery, it's just too loud, and it picks up a lot of background noise. So I don't know if I need to get like a dead cat, which for you guys who don't know, it's a microphone. It looks like a big fuzzy microphone, which is dead cat. Looks like we might have found a good resource in Mr. Zerkini on videoing type stuff. Let's see here. First larger job in the tonnage had me scared a little. That was trucking. What's that? Man, I have put down hundreds of tons of material on a job. And believe me, the prices can get staggering, and I always get material costs at least up front. Most of the time, 20% covers materials plus a little bit in case I get shafted. See, I wasn't too far off, 120 tons. He's within a truckload. I was just thinking about the dead cat. Yeah, I think I may go for that. And the external mic for this camera actually looks like a little dead cat. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like that. Thanks, Drew. I appreciate you helping us out with that, man. I really do. LS. Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Feet, that was going to be a couple of feet of rock. 100 tons, Gilbert. How much is a GoPro? I forgot how much I paid for this thing. I'm going to say it was around like $400 or $500 but I got a whole setup. I bought a whole kit. I want to say I paid around $500 for everything that I had. Skidster Drew, I suggest the Vulcan Materials app. It's a very easy, quick calculator and considers density. That's awesome. Drew, does it account for compaction? Once you put the dense base or whatever you called it, the crusher run, does it calculate for compaction? That's what I'd like to know, because that's a big difference. When it comes to crusher run, you can put it down 8 inches thick, and that stuff will go down to 4 to 6 inches thick, depending on moisture content several other factors, you know. Man, I'm about to break my record. Actually, I broke my record about an hour ago. We'll have been on here for 3 hours. Man, I appreciate you guys coming in and joining me on this stream. It's been great. We've had a lot of fun. We broke my record of 50 people in the stream at one time. So that was great. That was great. I think we've helped a lot of people out. I think we've had some good conversations for sure. I guess I'll give you guys an opportunity maybe to come up with any other questions. There is no stupid question. There's stupid questions, but from what I'm seeing on here from you guys, you're not asking stupid questions, you know. Zates, you're the real trooper hanging there for the long haul. Mass X-Man says plus shrink rate. Zerkini, search Amazon for microphone with windscreen muff. Gets you some dead cat covers. Awesome. That'd be great. Do you have an opinion on the FMX 50 on your size machine? Is the 36 better? I would imagine that they both have their pluses. The FMX 36 was good. The only thing about the 36 is that for them to tune it, like you take the cover off, like if you've got it mounted on the machine and held down from you on the operator's side, there's a little cover. And you take that cover off and there you can see the shaft. And it's got a white dot on it, and they time it. And they can tell how many revolutions per minute that drum is spinning. And where they set it at, I guess, for warranty or the max of what it's supposed to turn, it just wouldn't spin up real high. Now, I had my mechanic juice the pump up, and I'm going to tell you what, that thing will sing. It sounds like a jet engine, you know, like when you watch airplanes start their engine and they go, that thing is singing now, man. And when you put that head into some wood, there's stuff going everywhere. It's a bad dude now. Now, the bearings may not last long, but for the production I'm getting and what I'm able to charge now, no comparison. That thing is bad, man. It is bad to the bone. That sucker. First time he turned it up, and I was, what I have to do is I'll leave my door open, and I'll use my thumb control. And when it gets wound up as high as I want it to, I'll put it into the wood, and that'll choke it down and keep it from spinning up too high. If I'm in material that's not big enough to slow it down or hold it back, I just let off the thumb control. So it takes, pressure away from the supply lines. And I'll just, now if I'm tracking along and I'm in just the right material to hold it at the right speed, I can lock it to where it keeps supplying pressure. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. You guys hit the like button. Help me get to 50 likes on this video. That'll mean I'll have gotten 50 people in here at one time, and I will have gotten 50 likes. So if you haven't clicked the like button, just click that like for me. It would thrill me greatly. Help a hillbilly out. Let's see. Where are we at here now? Tim Freeman says, in my area, 57 stone is $500 delivered. How many tons is that, Tim Freeman? Zates, no stupid questions. Well, tell us about your tattoos. I know we'll learn best techniques in each video to come. Some tattoo chat. Okay, well, everything on my left arm is for my daughter, Emma, just for anybody who's interested. This is her name that looks like it's engraved in my arm, Emma. And that's her little angel's wing. That's her little birthday with the Gemini symbol. It looks like it's carved out of stone. And then this is the flower of life. That's her actual baby feet from the card when she, when your baby's born, they stamp their feet. and that's her actual feet. That's their actual size. And it's funny now because she'll take her little foot and put it up to it, and her foot's a lot bigger now, So this is just my time theme tattoos. This is just a man who's got his head down on a bridge that's falling apart. And it's just, time takes all things. And time has always been something that I felt is precious. I feel like even from a young age, I understood that we only have so much time here and we need to make the most of the time that we can. So I like Salvador Dali, the artist who did the melting clocks. I was always a fan of his. So like, let's see if I can stand up here. This is a skull and rose. So like the rose is a symbol of youth. And of course the skull is the symbol of age and death. Then we've got, let's see, here's like there's a little girl walking upstairs to a clock that's kind of disintegrating. And then, of course, I've got my hand holding an hourglass. And the hourglass is broken with sand falling out. I mean, you can't flip your hourglass over and get your time back. So that's kind of like what I can show you. That's my sleeves. Not many people have seen them on YouTube. Actually, YouTube's never seen, I don't think, my full sleeves. So they're clean. I don't have anything vulgar, anything like that on me. I love my tattoos. I don't regret them. I got about 50 hours in the chair. I sat for 50 hours for one artist. My first couple of tattoos, I was just a young man and just wanted tattoos. I got, of course, a tribal band on my arm that I had changed a little bit. And let's see. Oh, man, we got 52 likes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Wow, y'all really got me there, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love my tattoos. A lot of people think they're bad. They don't believe in them, and that's okay. I don't feel anything against people like that. I've had people ask me, why did you do that to yourself? And I wanted tattoos since I was a little, early, like when I was a kid, I thought tattoos were just amazing. And I always dreamed of having tattoos, and I always dreamed of having full sleeves. And from my first tattoo, I didn't feel complete. Like I felt like I need another one. I know I want something else. And seems like once I got my sleeves, I got one small one, my birth symbol on my back. But it's definitely, it's a lifestyle choice because you will always be judged. And that's why I don't have tattoos on my throat or anywhere that is not a place that I can easily cover up or keep concealed, or a place that I would be worried that they would accidentally be seen, even on my wrist. I can easily wear my work shirts that don't move, and I can point and do whatever with customers, and I can easily meet customers and people and them never know I'm tattooed because you're judged. People will always judge you on choices like that. And, being in Asheville, North Carolina, is very accepting of tattoos, piercings, and stuff like that. But if somebody doesn't have any tattoos or any piercings, I don't see them as any different of a person than somebody who's tattooed from head to toe. That's just how I think. I've always been accepting of stuff like that. Here's my little wifey thing. Probably missed her. So that's kind of my spiel on tattoos. And, let's see here. Follow up. When you do Facebook ad, how much do you spend a day? Boy, that's a good question. Typically, let me just tell you guys. On average, 15 bucks. 15 bucks a day. Anywhere between 15 and 30 per day. That's what it takes to get any kind of response. If you could probably do $10 a day and get a response if you got your little bubble small enough. The idea, and since there's a few of you on here, this is one thing I kind of hold close and secret because it would make a difference in my area. It's not something I really want people really knowing a lot, but it's not as much how much you spend in a day as how much you spend on a certain area. So, like, say you live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and you only want to spend $5 for a day. The idea is that it's going to be shot out to so many people in a certain area. So you don't want it to go into more than like a 5 to 10 mile radius, a tiny little radius. Because if you do 100-mile radius for $5 or $10, the odds of you hitting people and it going to certain people's Facebooks that actually need the service is very unlikely. So the less you spend, the smaller the bubble. Some people think I'm going to spend a little bit of money, but I'm going to do a huge bubble, and that's not going to work. That's backwards. Let's see. Wish I could hit like again. Thanks, Sir Kenny. I appreciate it. Oh man, thank you so much, James. Thanks for sharing your knowledge and life business. Thank you so much. That's my first super chat I've ever gotten. Nobody else has ever donated, and I appreciate that. And you'll always, James K., I will always remember you for that. And thank you. I don't expect it. I don't expect people to spend, that much. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Thanks. That means a lot, and thank you. See, Zach says, "Hi, you're awesome, man. I dig it." And Emma is worth thinking, bro. She is. She's worth every bit of it. Lee R. Jet, thank you for all the great info and encouragement. Great channel. Dirt Break, my tattoo sucks now. Well, age will take its toll on all of them. Let's see. Skidster Drew. Now this will be the last of the comments for tonight, guys. Zerkini, people judge me for my beard sometimes. It's not Gandalf the gray beard just yet, but working on it. That's awesome. That's awesome. And again, James K., thank you. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you. Zerkini, you have to print out that $10 bill at the bank and frame it now. No doubt. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for being here. James K., man, you are the first person ever. You're the first person ever to give me a super chat, and I hope I earned it. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all are awesome. This has been a night of firsts. We had 50 people in the room at one time. That is the first. I got more than 50 likes. Thank y'all for that. And first super chat. So that's awesome, guys. That's awesome. You guys have a great night. I love y'all, and hopefully I can be even more help the next time around. You guys have a good night. Peace.